Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome into Sports Time on a Friday. Bryant and Brett with you. Johnny Hill producing as always. We're Sports Time. We're with you for the next 3 hours. Plenty to get to today. A big weekend coming up, but we had the first set of Sweet 16 games go off last night. We'll have the remaining go off tonight. Some interesting results from that one yesterday, or those games yesterday, and it should be a really exciting weekend as we get through the rest of Sweet 16 games and the Elite 8 games. But, Brett, how are you this afternoon?
Brian, I'm well, and it's official. For football and basketball, it's the end of the Pac-12.
That's right. Yep, Arizona goes down last night, and
in the Pac-12's backyard in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and so goodbye to football and basketball, the obviously the two biggest sports that we consume. And so now, I mean, it's getting real. Next time we see those programs, they'll be in their new conferences.
They will be, and you think about in the history of big-time donors, and everybody's got one. Mm-hmm. They all don't have the same type, but everybody's got somebody. I mean, there's the biggest donor at Longwood basketball.
Sure, absolutely.
Think about what Phil Knight at Oregon, what he has donated from 1980 to when Nike really, just to the forefront of the public consciousness of sports apparel. Mm-hmm. From 1980 to now, 45 years. Yeah. That's a long stretch.
It sure is.
How much he's donated for Oregon football and basketball, and I'm talking about titles, they don't have anything.
Yeah.
They don't have anything.
No.
And you think of everybody's Mr. Big, whether it's, Jimmy Haslam at UT or Jerry Jones at Arkansas or Jimmy Rain at Auburn, whoever's Mr. Big.
Sure.
The Ben Hill Griffin family at Florida, whoever's Mr. Big, he's dwarfed them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, easily. I mean, with that swoosh, it's different.
What he's donated to Oregon State,
yeah.
their rival.
Yeah.
Just and he's been good to other places, but his school is Oregon.
Absolutely.
And they go out last weekend. They don't have anything to show for it. And the Pac-12 really hadn't won anything in a while. I guess USC football would be the last time in football and basketball.
Yeah, and I remember, football season, we were all, early those first couple weeks, we were still going, oh, man, look at what USC is supposed to be. Look at some of these other teams out here. And, it could be a really, really big year for the Pac-12. And they don't really do anything. And now basketball, it was okay. Well, you've got USC with this 5-star freshman coming in, Bronny James coming in, Arizona. Look what they have. UCLA should be good. And they really it was a pretty bad conference for the most part in basketball as well. They had kind of those top 2 or 3 teams. Oregon had to go win the conference tournament to get into the NCAA tournament, and so it was a pretty rough year in both football and basketball in the final year of the Pac.
I can't believe I left out Red McCombs, his family at Texas. They love telling us how rich they are and what all they can do. But they've won more than Phil Knight's won, and a lot of those other places I named did as well. And you look at, I've said this before, if the day John Wooden retired, and that was this time at the Final Four in 75 was his final game, and he won, went out on top. 2 years later, Al McGuire did the same thing. Went out on top in Atlanta as head coach of Marquette. Nobody, you couldn't have convinced anybody on planet Earth for thousands of generations. You couldn't have convinced anyone that the rest of UCLA's existence in basketball, they'll win it one more time, and the whole conference will dissolve.
Yeah, I'm curious of if you had told him that, which one they would have believed more, that only the lack of titles or the fact that there will be no more conference of the Pac-12 or Pac whatever.
That weekend in San Diego, 1975, when everybody thought Denny Crum was going to get the job, and a lot of people thought if Denny Crum got that job, that Dana Kirk would get the Louisville job.
Oh, wow.
Because he was assistant to Denny Crum and much beloved in Louisville. I think he was already I'd already been at Virginia Commonwealth. Anyway, he would have been in the front. He probably would have gotten it. He thought he would have gotten it if Denny Crum had taken the job at his alma mater. But so over that time, you fast forward 48 years, and the conference is over, and UCLA's won it once in basketball. Unfathomable.
Yeah, hard to believe. And so now. Goodbye to the Pac-12. I guess they could do something in baseball. I think Oregon State, can maybe do something in baseball. Other than that, I don't think it's a great conference in baseball either. So, we're slowly coming to an end, and once we get to the summer, it's going to be official, and it's going to be a very weird feeling. But I'll be honest, and maybe I've been underestimating Clemson. I did not expect what we saw last night with them beating Arizona, and really the way they did it. It was, they seemed like they were the more aggressive team all night long. They made Arizona uncomfortable early. Arizona, for most of that second half, just kind of tried to respond by just throwing up threes.
Scramble mode.
And I was like, what are we doing
heaves
out there? Yeah, and the whole time Clemson.
Run some stuff.
Yeah, and even when Arizona.
They played like they were down 20.
They did. And even when Arizona kind of came back and would make it close, Clemson never freaked out. They just kind of stayed consistent. They stayed calm. And that's
Coaching
what ultimately won them the game. And that coaching, which is hilarious because, Brad Brownell has been on the hot seat. It feels like every single year was on the hot seat this year. And then now what he's done has just been incredible.
And how many times during the course of the year talking about the ACC, and I would reference two big Tiger wins, Virginia and Clemson, and I would say, they're third or fourth in an average ACC year.
Yeah. And
so I ask you this, and I want this reaction at 901-360-8255 at the Sissy's Log Cabin text line. Please answer this question. Bryant's going to answer it for us right now. Clemson's advancement, does it make you feel better or worse about the Tiger year?
I think,
or nonplussed?
For me, it doesn't positive or negatively, it doesn't affect me much. I have no difference on it. But I think the answer would be it makes you feel worse because you go back to that date, and I was thinking about this last night watching that Clemson game. You look up and you've got Memphis who, is now in the top 10 or close to getting in the top 10, and they beat Clemson in a really fun game, kind of back and forth game. They beat Clemson, and you're feeling, man, all right, you just beat, Texas A&M, you just beat Virginia, now you beat Clemson, that kind of 3-game stretch there, and, okay, we're going to get through conference, and, I think a lot of people last night were thinking that should have been us. That should be Memphis in, making that deep run. And so to see Clemson go out there and do it, I think it is a little discouraging on what the season was because when you go back to that meeting between the Tigers and the Tigers, there were just the hopes were so high here.
Yeah, and Clemson, a 6th seed in the tournament. That's about that day leaving FedEx Forum after that 1-point thrilling December showcase game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was big time atmosphere, fun game. Tigers, Caleb, Dennis Rodman, Michael Cooper, Tony Allen, Mills at the line had really two bricks, or the Tigers it wouldn't have come down to the last second.
Yeah.
Pretty good look at a shot for Clemson, but that day I thought if you'd have told me one of these two teams will be a 6th seed and will advance to the Elite Eight, well, that would have been the Memphis Tigers.
Sure. And unfortunately, those two seasons went in very opposite directions. And, for Clemson, they got better. And Tigers did not take advantage of some of the opportunities they had and lost some head-scratching games. Keep going back to that Rice loss. And, you beat Rice, and you're probably at least talking about being on the inside. Yeah, maybe you had to go to Dayton. Maybe you do, maybe you're in that 8-9 game, but you're still probably in. And so, yeah, I think looking at that, and I saw a lot of people tweeting about it after the game saying, man, this is just hard to watch. I had buddies texting me saying, man, I think, watching Clemson advance to the Elite Eight is like the worst thing I've seen ever. It makes me feel terrible. And it's all because, a couple months ago, the expectations that were for the Tigers were what Clemson has been doing in this NCAA tournament.
And the old, if they played 100 times, or if they played a 7-game series, Bring on a 7-game series with the Memphis Tigers and Clemson.
Yeah, I mean,
bring it on. I think Memphis wins that.
Yeah, I mean, certainly got one out of the way in December, and
up one. Only need 3 more, right?
Yeah, I guess that's how series goes. But no, I mean, it was a great win for them and for Arizona. Now I think
it sure was.
The conversation and now around Tommy Lloyd I've been seeing over the last 24 hours has been you've got these great teams during the regular season, but come tournament time, maybe a lack of production, and I know that was a disappointing loss for Arizona fans last night.
Who else have we been hearing that description of?
Well, I mean, I think,
who got a big win last night?
Who got a big win last night? Oh, Nate Oates.
Haven't we kind of talked about Nate Oates like that? Yeah,
Nate Oates, yes. And I mean,
and he got a big win last night.
Huge. I mean, that was massive.
Biggest win in Bama basketball history. Now they got to have a bigger win to get to the Final Four.
Yeah, and I mean, that one was crazy. I mean, we talked about, the Alabama defense and you can't stop anybody or whatever. Well, I mean, I guess you only need a couple of stops when, both teams are going to almost scratch 90 points in that game. I mean, it was a fun game to watch.
And on that first Final Four Magic carpet ride, you have those moments. I remember in 73 when the Tigers beat Jack Hartman in Kansas State, Lon Kruger at point guard, and Larry Finch just tore him up all day, offensively and defensively. Mm-hmm. That was the biggest win in Tiger basketball history. Well, it was advancing to St. Louis to play Bad News Barnes and Ernie D. and Kevin Stakem and Dave Gavitt's Good Friars Club the next weekend. In 78, when Eddie Sutton was building Arkansas's program, on a Thursday night on NBC, they beat UCLA. Let me tell you, in 78, that was still UCLA. Sure. That was big-time UCLA. Biggest win in Razorback history. Mm-hmm. The next day, I mean, people were just – it was like beating Texas in football. Had to beat Cal State Fullerton on Saturday. You don't go to St. Louis. They did. They go to St. Louis. Wow. So you have to turn right around after that, especially that first Magic carpet ride. And that's what Bama's on. Mm-hmm. It's what the Tigers were in 73. It's what Arkansas was in 78. That's what they were on.
Yeah, and so for them, I mean, a big win last night. Now you get to turn around and see Clemson, and, I don't really know what to think about that game right now because I never thought we'd get that matchup.
And they played this year in the ACC-SEC Challenge.
That's right. So you got a little bit of a film, and you can go back to that game for both of these teams. But, I mean, Alabama last night with Grant Nelson stepping up, and Grant Nelson's been an okay player this year. He's been fine, but he hasn't been that breakout player that I think some people projected he would be before the season started when he transferred in from North Dakota.
Last summer, was it North or South Dakota State?
North Dakota State.
It was North Dakota State. Last summer, people were more kind of hot over him than they were a guy named Connect.
Oh, absolutely. I think there were way more people that were shouting and knew about Grant Nelson that they even knew who Dalton Connect was.
I agree. I agree with that.
And
I don't know that I really knew who Dalton Connect was till about Thanksgiving.
No. I mean,
he took it by storm.
But I knew he did. I knew the Bama player though.
Yeah, I mean Grant Nelson was and
I knew it so well. I didn't know where he was playing from, but I knew he had a lot of publicity.
That's right. Oh, plenty. I mean that highlight package everyone was sharing before the season. It was good. He's been a fine player this year. He has not been bad. But he has not had many performances like this one, 24 points and 12 rebounds in a game that, honestly, Mark Sears 2 for 7 from 3. It was a fine game for him, but not his best. Nick Pringle down low didn't give you much of anything. So, it was a huge Grant Nelson game last time. I mean, he is a big part of why they
Pringle
won.
even injured.
Yeah. And so
Pringle came up with everybody was fearing Achilles, but it was heel.
Yes, which was
but he was really favoring it.
He was, and that was really scary. But no, a good win for them. And then on the other side, North Carolina, I mean, come in as the number 1 seed. And I think a lot of people had questions about this team. And, they go out there and, R.J. Davis goes 0 for 9 from 3 and, just doesn't give you much. Elliot Cadeau, they end up benching him, which I've heard people all day talk about he can't shoot the ball.
The big man for Carolina was dead tired.
He couldn't stay up. I mean, Harrison.
He couldn't breathe.
No, Armando Bacot was not able to get up and down the court. I mean, he just wasn't able to. And that was huge. That speed that Alabama played with last night, and that could be a way that they.
Do we owe Nate Oates an apology for us always questioning his defensive tactics?
No. No, I mean,
I don't think so either. I think it was kind of a one-offer.
Sure, yeah.
It hadn't been that consistently. No. If he goes out and clamps down on Clemson, pulls the upset over UConn next Saturday afternoon in Phoenix, I'm willing to step up.
Absolutely.
I don't think he's asking for an apology from some little guy in Memphis, but if he does, I'll give it.
No, but I mean, I think the final, 5 or 6 minutes of that game, Alabama came up with some big stops to come back and win that game. But I need to see a lot more than 5 minutes against when both teams are just trying to run up and down the court of stops. I need to see more than that before I can.
And they're not in Phoenix yet.
No. They still got to win one more before.
They're still in L.A.
That's right. But it's going to be a fun matchup between Alabama and Clemson. Those are really the two big stories of the night last night, and sets up for a really fun night in the Sweet 16 tonight. We'll talk a lot about that today, but let me set up today's show before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30, Alan Bell from AB3 and Driving the Line. He'll join us to talk some wagering, make some picks for these basketball games, but also Major League Baseball back, so we'll have to get some picks from Alan when it comes to baseball. 3:45, we'll talk baseball. A couple of games going on during the day, but the rest later tonight. Some late night games last night. We'll talk about that at 3:45. 4 o'clock, Bruce Marshall from Vegas Insider, CBS Sports, and BAMSports.net. We'll talk more wagering with him. 4:30, we'll get to more NCAA tournament and college basketball conversation. 4:45, big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Jason Munz, our final every Friday visit with Jason Munz, the commercial appeal beat writer for the Memphis Tiger basketball team. As always, he's presented by Jim's Place Grill in Collierville. But I've got a feeling with how active this offseason should be for Penny Hardaway and his club. This will not be the last time we talk to him before the start of the season next year, because I think a lot's going to happen this offseason. But we'll talk to him at 5 o'clock, get up to date on everything that's going on with offseason and the transfer portal finally officially open for the Tigers. 5:30, we'll talk about what's trending. At 5:45, we'll wrap up today's show like we always do with Taco Bell Crunch Time. Let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure studios where family and fun come together. It's time to get out to Family Leisure. They've got factory direct pricing on all swimming pools, spas, and patio furniture. It's patio season. Come by Family Leisure and check out the new 2024 patio furniture sets. Pool season will be here before we know it. Buy now and get in line for your pool installation. Get pre-season pricing. Save $1,000 to $5,000 on all spas and swim spas. Also, special pricing on all in-stock saunas, theater seating, pool tables, and outdoor kitchens. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40.
I wish we could start every day with Take Me Out to the Ball Game. That was fun yesterday.
Yeah,
but we can't. We got things to do. This is Sports Time, produced by Johnny Hill. We're with you until 6 o'clock, and we wish everyone a good Friday and a happy Easter weekend. And we want you to be a part of our show at 901-360-8255. Tell us, Tigers fans, Clemson's run making you feel better or worse or nonplussed about it, or just trying to have amnesia and get over it. 901-360-8255. That's the Sissy's Log Cabin text line, phone line, and all our guests will appear on the Sissy's Log Cabin guest line at 901-360-8255. This hour of our show brought to you every day by Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2024 models and always special leasing options. Drive in luxury and confidence knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. The one and only Lexus dealership at 2600 Ridgeway. Here's the number, 901-334-9673. But they would prefer you to stop by and visit with them at 2600 Ridgeway and put yourself in the driver's seat of an all-new 2024 flagship LS500. You'll be looking and you'll be driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and they make for the luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story's got to be the Sweet 16 results from last night. Specifically, two of the bigger games that we've already talked about. Clemson and Arizona kicked us off last night a little after 6 o'clock. And it was really all Clemson all night. Yeah, Arizona came back in the second half, made it close. They fought, but some questionable decisions by this Arizona team late in the game. Clemson, it feels like this game and last game specifically, a lot of their guys, a lot of their go-to players in foul trouble early in the second half. In Arizona last night, it felt like, especially in the second half, every time they tried to drive to the basket, try to get inside, they'd get fouled. They'd go to the free throw line. They'd shoot free throws, and this team is a pretty good free throw shooting team. But instead of continuing to drive the lane while these guys are in foul trouble, I just pulled it up, looking at it, let's see, 3, 4, 2, 2. I mean, a lot of guys with foul trouble on Clemson. And on the other side, I mean, Arizona, what their best free throw shooting night, 68%. But instead of driving to the basket, trying to draw fouls, trying to get these guys in foul trouble, foul out of the game, they continued to settle for three-point shots. They shot 28 three-pointers and shot only 17.9%. Something's got to change. When it's not falling, you got to switch it up. They've got good big men down low, but they just refuse to go inside, refuse to drive to the basket consistently, and that's what ultimately lost them the game. So Clemson, as a 6th seed, advances to the next round. Good for them, a team that the Tigers, the Memphis Tigers, beat earlier in December. The other team that really impressed me last night, Alabama, in their game against North Carolina. I don't think we gave them much of a shot last night against that number 1 seed North Carolina, a team that offensively plays really, really well. They've got a pass-first point guard that seems to make the right plays all the time, but he was limited to only 13 minutes as Coach Hubert Davis decided to sit him on the bench for a large part of the game. R.J. Davis, 0 for 9, could not get his shot falling, and Alabama continues to wave the SEC flag in the tournament. Illinois, late night last night, they get a 72-69 victory. They were in control early, and then Iowa State, a big second half for them, but Illinois advances, and then UConn. I mean, did anybody watch that game last night? I mean, it just felt like it was over before it even started. I know that San Diego State was only down by 9 at halftime, but an 82-52 win for UConn. I mean, it is incredible what they've been doing this tournament.
It blew up quickly. They're down 4, down 9, down 19, lose by 30.
That's right.
Just like that. It was unbelievable. My top story, Bama stepped up in its big basketball moment. Now it's Tennessee's time. Stars have to be big. Dalton Knecht must be big. No way they advance with an average Knecht night. Vescovy, their Triple J, and Ziegler must be big. Our loss to Creighton will only be added to the Rick Barnes third-round Rick misery. Okay, he's advanced past second-round Rick. Third-round Rick's not real sporty.
No, it is not. It's going to be a big one for them. I didn't even think about this the other day when we were talking about it. For Tennessee fans in Knoxville, this game won't tip off until probably, I mean, it says 9:09 would be 10:09 there. We're talking 10:30 probably. If
easy.
First game
I thought
late.
that last night for that second game in Boston, I thought, for those people, my goodness, it's bedtime.
It sure is.
It's bedtime for people who don't go to bed early like me.
That's right. And so it's going to be a late night for those fans in Knoxville.
Not top story of the day.
Well, I'm going right back there with my not top story of the day. The slate tonight is going to be a really fun night. I think every single game is really intriguing to me. Most of the games, only 4 last night, I think they were all mostly, intriguing to me, but I think I'm more locked in tonight. NC State, this run they've been on against a Marquette team that has looked really, really good. A rematch between Gonzaga and Purdue that we saw out in Maui, where Purdue won by double digits, but I've heard a lot of people say Mark Few much better the second time he sees a team in the same season, so that should be a fun game. Houston, who we saw here in Memphis last week in the first 2 rounds, they had a scary one against Texas A&M to get to this position, but now they'll see a Duke team that has been equally as impressive in this NCAA tournament. And then I think the big one, late night, Tennessee versus Creighton. We talked about it yesterday, but their assistant coaching, a couple of assistants have now come out and said it, but the coaching staff saying that they're going about this week like they're preparing for Alabama. The way Creighton likes to get up and down the court, the way they like to shoot the 3 ball. I think it's interesting, and we know Tennessee is pretty good guarding the perimeter, so I'm really excited for that late night game. It's going to be a late night, but I think that might be the best game of the night.
Now, I don't think either of these finals will occur, but still alive to occur. Still alive can happen. We're getting down to the narrow teams.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, only 12 left standing right now. Do you realize we could still have a Clemson-Houston final, and they both were here last weekend?
That'd be awesome. Well, Brett, I had predicted a Houston-Baylor final, and
they were both here last weekend.
Right.
And we could still have that famed second Monday in April.
Oh, man, it's
Coffee table books have been written forever about it.
Right.
Historians of Tennessee Bama cigar game fame have written about it forever. My not top story, Alabama or Clemson, one of them will advance to the Final Four. It will be either's first trip to college basketball nirvana next weekend in Phoenix. No strangers in football, having met 4 times just in the college football playoff era, with 3 of those in the championship game. Clemson 2-1 against Bama in CFP championship games. Bama also beat them once in the semis, so 2-2. Bama leads all time in football 14-5, but this will be decided on the hardwoods, where Clemson leads 8-4 all time and won in November in the SEC ACC Challenge by 8.
Yeah, no love lost between the Alabama and Clemson fan base.
And historically, a bunch of cross-pollination.
Really?
Danny Ford played at Bama, coached at Clemson. Hootie Ingram was there, and Dabo. I mean, there's a lot. Way back when, Frank Howard, there's a bunch.
I love it. I'm excited for that one. If we do get Tennessee, Alabama, we got to get some cigars for the winning team after that game. One shining moment with a cigar? I mean, come on. That's what March is made of.
And Kevin Turner, the nice person that had ALS, it was such the fundraiser for ALS. You know, his son played football at Clemson for Dapo, and it's a lot of cross-pollination in those athletics departments.
I love it. Well, that's going to be a really fun Elite Eight matchup. But that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's go ahead and get to our first break. And when we come back, we're talking some wagering with Alan Bell.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets, with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli, with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. If you need a new roof for your home or business, we hope to hear from you and will work hard to earn your business. We are experts and certified in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and gutter installation. I have been serving the Memphis area for over 20 years, and now with 2 of my sons working with me, we plan to be here for years to come. So if you need a roof, please give us a call. On a personal note, what a great time it is to be a Memphis sports fan. With the Grizzlies and the Redbirds and 901 FC, not to mention Tigers football and basketball, it's going to be a fun year. Thanks to Coach Silverfield and Coach Hardaway and their staffs for their dedication to the student and athletes, the University of Memphis, the City of Memphis, and us fans. Five Ash Roof Services, a proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps, fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic-approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
The 75th anniversary sales event is on at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, and we've got Rockin' Ronnie Smith ready to put you in your new V-Dub today.
That's right, Randy. 3 is your lucky number. 2024 Taos S, or a 2024 Tiguan S, or a 2024 Jetta Sport. Your choice. $275.96 per month.
Plus, Gossett Volkswagen Germantown's got 2024 Atlas Cross Sport, $33,999. Plus 1.9 for 60 months on all Atlas and Atlas Cross Sports, and 0 for 60 months on 24 Tiguans. But only at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown.
Come see me, Rockin' Ronnie Smith, and let me put you in your new V-Dub today.
Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or online, GossettVWG.com.
All 36-month lease, 7,500 miles, 20 cents excess mileage. Cannot combine APR offer with 3,000 customer cash rebate. House RMO 53314, MSRP 26063, Tiguan RM 003120, MSRP 30,026, Jetta RMO 48802, MSRP 25506, Cross RC 23156, MSRP 38998. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax title and licensee. Dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Sports 56 traffic.
Afternoon, we see some rubbernecking going on out there on Bill Morris Parkway going outbound. That's eastbound Bill Morris. Right before you get to Riverdale, they got a car or truck rather pulled over. They're just working on it, but again, it's got a little bit of traffic slow go out through there. It's already heavy at times over here on 240 East up by Poplar. Not as bad as it was yesterday. It's just slow go traffic up through there right now. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64 is your full-service family-owned jewelry store right here in the Memphis area. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back in Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you in our Family Leisure Studios, and joining us now on the Sissy's Log Cabin phone line, Alan Bell joins us now from AB3 and Driving the Line to talk some wagering. Alan, thanks so much for joining us, and happy day after opening day to you.
Absolutely, man. Back at you, brother. Hope you guys are doing all right. Appreciate y'all having me back.
Are you going to have Vegas as mad at you over Major League Baseball as they are over college baseball? Alan, I'm not kidding you. You've gotten their attention.
We've had some fun so far, man. It's been a lot of fun. I tell you what, we're going to need the Braves to pick this offense up.
Yeah,
it's hard to complain 5 innings into the season, but no, man. Like I'm with you guys. Like I just love baseball, man. It's my favorite sport, and just so glad to have it back. You know.
I thought you offered up some great advice on the X machine about playing college baseball. There's so many teams. It's still a little rough to get some information on some teams, so just narrow it down to a couple teams and try to get a handle on that. Would you offer up that advice across sports? Would you offer it up for Major League Baseball, for college football?
Absolutely, you know, and to expand on what you're saying, yeah, you know, you don't have to learn every player of every team in every sport. You know, start small. You know, find yourself 5 teams. You know, find yourself 1 team. However you want to do it, right? Like I bet the Atlanta Braves, Major League Baseball, pretty much almost exclusively. Like I mean, you know, I'll bet other teams, obviously, but you know, you focus on knowing 1 team, and you'll get a handle on that, and then you'll start to learn. You know, the opponents that they play, right? If you do that in college baseball, like if you start with Ole Miss and you just understand Ole Miss, you know, with the midweek game and then a Friday, a Saturday, and Sunday, things start to get a little bit easier for you. You know what I mean? So you don't have to learn everything. Start small. It's always an easier path for you.
I think you had that easier in air quotes, though, because it's never easy.
Well, I'll say this. In the SEC and baseball, it's never easy. It is just murderer's row, man.
Look at last night in Fayetteville. That was a classic between Arkansas and LSU. The Razorbacks win 7-4. I had a friend of mine there. He said legit 11,000 in the ballpark, and he said those last 3 outs in the ninth, it was rocking like you were at the World Series.
Seriously, I swear. It's funny that your friend said that. Like, I was thinking the same thing watching it, right? Like, and I sat there and watched it the whole game, and it was exciting, back and forth. And you're right, man. Those last couple outs, dude. I mean, it really did feel like that, And it's like, what month are we in? Like, it's just March, man. Mm-hmm. So it's awesome. I just love baseball, man. It's unlike any other sport.
No, it really is. Well, I was paying attention yesterday to the Orioles and the Reds, both with big wins to start opening day. What do you, when you look at both of those teams, what are the realistic expectations for both those franchises this year?
I mean, you take a look at how Vegas sees them. You look at the Reds. Let's just use 90 wins roughly, right? Mm-hmm. And you look at the Orioles. Even more. Can they expand on what they did last year? They got some key losses there, but two teams that are really good, have really good dugouts, so to say. And what I mean by that is just the makeup of the team is solid on both sides. So the Reds have been fun for a couple of years now, mm-hmm. and the Orioles, you look at the last 5 years, the turnaround that they've had, it's been incredible.
I would say you would be a go-to source for knowledge on this player. Brian and I are both big-time Cardinal fans. We're trying to get Johnny to be a Cardinal fan. What are the Cardinals getting in Sonny Gray? And and somebody told me that he was a big-time high school football quarterback on state championship teams. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah, 100%, man. Right down the street from me. Sonny Gray's a tough son of a gun. Like, I have the utmost respect for that dude. He is a competitor. He's a great teammate. Everything that you want to get out of a pitcher in whatever capacity that you have him. Like, I fully endorse everything about Sonny Gray. He is he's a high quality dude. You will very much enjoy him. I assure you that.
So you remember him playing high school football?
Oh yeah. Dude, he's not the biggest guy, right? Like, mm-hmm. When you look at him, and especially compared to some other, major league pitchers that are, really tall. They fit that prototype, right? Kind of, a little thin, tall, long arms. Like, he's not a little guy, but he's not exactly that. But he has a cannon. I'm telling you, like, I've seen this guy chuck the ball all up and down the field, left and right. He would be a star in college football if he worked so good in college baseball. You know what I mean? Like, he's that talented. He's absolutely any team in any sport that he walks in, I guarantee he's a top 2, top 3 most athletic dude on that team. Like, I am not kidding about that one bit.
That's awesome. Looking at this kind of first weekend, what are some plays you're looking at? What are some maybe teams or players that you're looking at to maybe bet this weekend in the first series for these teams?
Yeah, so in Major League Baseball, you want to keep it easy, right? So I would say more so find your spots to where you have teams that are playing in good weather, teams that are playing, in stadiums, that have, either domes or, kind of the retractable roof type deal, because weather right now is going to play big into it. Also, teams are not going to throw starting pitchers. Same thing we talked about college baseball. Like, they're not going to throw starting pitchers 7, 8 innings. They're not going to burn these guys' arms up, right? So you want to find teams. An excellent team right now playing at home. All right, even though they are up against, a team like the Atlanta Braves, we've already seen they put 2 runs on the board already. This is a team that has World Series aspirations and guys that have had experience with each other. And that's what I was getting at with the last key, is that you find lineups that understand and know each other, right? And it's just kind of picking up where they left off from last year. So the Orioles, are a good example of that. The Phillies are a good example of that. The Rangers, big win already at home, winning in extras over the Cubs. Teams like that, teams that have been around each other and know each other inside and out. Yeah, man, that's where you want to go.
And it felt like on the other side of that last night, I know just one game, but it's been a lot of games for them. And in that mausoleum they play in, Oakland shut out 8-0 by Cleveland, and Stephen Voigt's debut as manager of the Guardians.
Yeah, I mean, it's just,
feels like you could ride against Oakland.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a disaster, and I'll say this, the Colorado Rockies, when you can catch them playing at home, take overs on their games, because the Rockies can hit.
Yeah.
They'll give up 20 runs a game, so just pay attention over there. But, yeah, man, the A's are it has not been good for sports fans in the city of Oakland. No. Just has not been good, a very good decade for those guys.
Well, it's down to the A's, and they're on the way out of town.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's been rough.
Yeah, which is weird that there's just not going to be sports in Oakland. You know what I mean?
And that complex in the 70s was the House of Champions. You had Rick Barry and the Golden State Warriors playing right there in the arena. You had the Raiders and the A's playing at that mausoleum.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, it's wild, man. Like, the part that I hate is that, it's the fan base that suffers, and the team will use, the ownership will use the team as kind of a hostage negotiation.
Every time.
Against
straight
the
at
fan
gunpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is. It absolutely is. And it's like, look, I get it from a business standpoint because that's your leverage card. But dude, I mean, you can only do it so much. You know what I mean? And now look, what do you do if you're in Oakland? Like if you live in Oakland, and you're born and raised, like all your teams are gone. I mean, it's awful, man. I hate it for them.
Yeah, no, it really is. Well, it's going to be a fun weekend in baseball, but also a fun weekend in college basketball. We'll finish out the Sweet 16 tonight and then get to the Elite Eight. What games are you really excited for? I know the Vols playing late tonight. Give me a late one for those fans in Knoxville. But what jumps off to the page to you for these games tonight?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'll say this. Going off of last night, man, a lot of brackets got busted last night, right? Like, do we continue to see upsets tonight? How does Purdue, show up, right? Like, they've answered the bell, every single time. You mentioned Tennessee. Buddy, Luke Barnes knows what time it is.
Yep.
He needs to win this game, right? And Creighton is no pushover by any means. Duke Houston, man, that's going to be a fun game. I can't wait, man. Like, after last night, I am so excited. You guys have any big upsets, anything that you see on the board?
Well, last night, 3 out of 4 dogs won straight up. Wow. I just don't think that'll be the case tonight. I wouldn't get out there on the dog slope tonight.
See, I'm with you. It's usually 1 out of 2 nights.
It corrects itself. The market corrects itself, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Alan, what we really want from you, and it starts this weekend, and the Memphis Showboats play on Sunday. You got any UFL locks?
Yeah, I'll tell you this: the St. Louis Battlehawks. Okay,
yeah.
They are loaded on not only on their roster but their coaching staff as well. Take a look there. But I'll say this: unders are your key because so many of these players and teams are not used to playing with each other. There's been limited time for practicing, and I know that we've had it around a little bit as they're merging 2 leagues, but that's still a lot of movement. I would play unders on points until collectively the league tells you otherwise.
Yeah. I like that. Anything
and
else?
It's a short price on those unders.
Sure,
I mean, they're low.
That's the tough part.
It is. Yeah. But I'm excited for week 1. But do you like anything else in terms of baseball or this slate for college basketball tonight?
So I'll tell you this, man. I really like. I like Houston. If you could get them on the money line, parlayed with something else. I really think Houston bounces back after that awful game against Texas A&M. But Tennessee and Georgia play in baseball tonight, game 1. Georgia leads the country in home runs. Tennessee is second. Tennessee gives up a lot of runs as well. The over-under on that game, I believe, is 11.5. Pay attention to that this entire weekend because Tennessee doesn't play well on Saturdays at all either. Especially on an Easter weekend, you could find a lot of runs in Knoxville.
I like it. Well, it's going to be a fun weekend, Alan. Enjoy really everything. You got baseball, basketball, football.
It's a great weekend.
It's a really good weekend.
Football.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You guys too, and I appreciate y'all having me, man. Happy Easter, and thank you so much.
Happy Easter,
Thank you.
Alan. Thanks.
Thank you. Very kind. Happy Easter to you as well, Alan. And I spoke too soon on those over and unders on UFL. They're not that low.
Really? I haven't looked at any UFL lines yet.
Birmingham, Arlington, 41.5.
Wow.
St. Louis, Michigan, 41.5. DC, San Antonio, 43.5.
Wow.
Memphis, Houston, 40.5. That's the lowest one.
Wow. right. And we got to wait till
That's
Sunday
bigger
for
than
that
last
game.
year.
Sure is.
But those were around 33, 34 deep into the year last year.
You're absolutely right.
But we know now just one league, offense should be better. Steve Macy's told us that.
Yeah, he has. So I'm excited for these to start tomorrow at noon with Birmingham and Arlington.
Please let me know if you fire at the UFL, please.
I will.
Where I can keep up with it, pull for you.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
This weekend, we know so many people having so many loved ones come in from near and far, and at Jason's Deli, they all wish everyone a good Friday and a happy Easter weekend. Whether you're dining in, to go, or delivery, let Jason's Deli take care of you with over 200 Memphis area associates. Wholesome food forever. It's a family thing in a location I guarantee you near you right now if you're listening to us. In Cordova, in Olive Branch, Ridgeway Road over across from MUS, and at Poplar and Highland over by the University of Memphis. And you can always check them out online as well at jasonsdeli.com. All those foods, they got you covered. If you want something right now for people coming in tonight, into tomorrow, even the Sunday afternoon traditional fare, let Jason's Deli take care of it with all these meals. They're ready to cater for 5 or 5,000 so they can have you covered in the restaurants, all the salads, all the food that's good and good for you. It's all about choice. First franchise in the nation to be trans fat free. You'll be delighted at Jason's Deli. Plenty of organic food to choose from. And in every location, that salad bar, it's inside every location for you to prepare it however you'd like, with over 30 items to choose from. But then off the menu, all the salad options like the chicken Caesar salad, the taco salad, the chicken club salad, all the breads, all the spreads, the meats, the cheeses. They've got it at Jason's Deli. Still the soups, always soup season at Jason's Deli. Catering anytime, anywhere, and in all those locations like at Ridgeway Road, Poplar and Highland over by the U of M, Olive Branch in Cordova, the free ice cream. Check them out online as well at jasonsdeli.com.
Well, let's get to a break. When we come back, we've got a couple of baseball games already starting this afternoon, a lot more later tonight. We'll talk baseball on the other side.
Be sure to follow us at Sports56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports56 WHBQ.
Chris Price, it's so good to see you. And you have a new business?
Yes, Dave. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Have you noticed water stains on your ceiling? With storm season here, take a walk around your home or business and look up. Make sure there are no water stains signaling a leak prior to the heavy storms coming in. If you do see signs of water, call me. My team and I will come out, diagnose the problem, and prescribe a fix. Our team of Hague-certified inspectors are waiting to assist with any inspection or repairs you may need. We have 3 crews dedicated to repairing roofs in the Mid-South. As certified Owens Corning and Mule High dealers, we offer 20-year, no-dollar limit labor and material warranties that offer hassle-free ownership. That's our hassle-free ownership guarantee. Allow Metro Builders team of professionals to assist you in maintaining your property's integrity and value. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Your local commercial roof experts. Ask about our commercial roof maintenance agreements. Protect your investment with MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Call me, 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717. 375-1717.
Sheldon, we've worked together for over 20 years, and we have sold a lot of homes in that time.
That's right. I'm Sheldon Rosengarten, and I'm with Melanie Simpson, and we're with Marks Bensdorf Realtors. Melanie, I've represented numerous buyers and sellers and always strive to do a good job for whomever I represent.
Sheldon, I know you do, except your golf game is horrible because you spend so much time taking care of your clients. I even heard that you tend to hit people with wayward golf shots.
Only 2 or 3 times, and they're all out of the hospital now. Like I always say, if you're thinking of selling a home, talk to 2 or 3 real estate brokers and make sure I'm one of them.
And if someone needs to fill up a foursome, don't call you?
That's right, and find out why people often say when you want the job done, call Shell Dunn.
You can reach Shell Dunn Rosengarten or me, Melanie Simpson, at 682-1868 or memphisrelocate.com. Do it now. That's 682-1868 or memphisrelocate.com. And
Go Tigers!
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your buddy Johnny Radio. I'm here with Mark, the owner of Dyer's, out in Collierville's historic town square, where they've been cooking up them burgers since 1912, the old-fashioned way. Mark, what's going on in life? I see you got your 4 kids with you. What do they love about Dyer's?
Man, they love everything about Dyer's. They love all the great food that we serve, and they really like eating our good food and watching some of their favorite sports.
Braden, what do you like at Dyer's?
I like a bacon burger with fries, a milkshake, and with a Tigers game in the background.
Carter, who's your favorite football team?
The Carolina Panthers, and just with some macaroni with that sounds amazing.
My man Beckham, what's your favorite food over at Dyer's?
We like the double cheeseballs.
Kinley, what is your favorite dish over at Dyer's?
Daddy's cheeseburgers and the Dallas Cowboys game in the background.
Just remember, everybody, bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team out and eat at our place.
So head on over to Dyer's in Collierville's historic town square.
It's time to triple your savings with Gossett's Jeep Celebration Event and Ram Truck Month and Dodge Power Shot Days all at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. How about new 2023 Jeep Renegade Latitude 4x4? We Gossett $5,052 off MSRP. That's Jeep Renegade Latitude $24,988. How about new 2023 Jeep Cherokee Altitude 4x4? We Gossett $33,230. That's $8,000 off MSRP. And Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike has 2023 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon 4x4, $14,000 off MSRP. So drive past the rest and come to the best Gossett on the Pike or shop online, GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
Renegade Triple P 56029 MSRP 30040, Altitude PD 10 3653 MSRP 41230, Gladiator PL 570 369 MSRP 64995, includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Get in the gym this offseason with Grizzlies Youth Basketball presented by Nike. Register your child for one of many 2-day summer camps hosted throughout the Mid-South. Campers should receive a jersey, basketball, and group photo. Space is limited, so sign up today at memgrizyouth.com.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Well, we already have one final in Major League Baseball today. We had 2 games that had to go off early today because they were rained out yesterday. Brewers and Mets already in the books. Mets got up early, 1-0 off of a home run, but the Brewers stormed back and win 3-1 off 8 hits. And a bench clearing on day 1 for the Mets and the Brewers. We've already got a kerfuffle happening.
Very good words. That would be your third word. It was anything but a brawl. We're literally throwing as many punches right now between us as was thrown today in Queens.
But yes, well, and that's, the classic
bench clearing debate. Bench clearing kerfuffle says it.
I like that. Yeah.
I don't know if it rose to complete kerfuffle level.
I don't know. I mean, it certainly was not a brawl or anything, or a fight or anything.
If that was a brawl. Man, and I think today I was watching a lot of the Mets pregame. I love their network. I love that stadium. I love them in their traditional home look. We talked about the hat the other day. And I think Buddy Harrelson was being honored today. I don't know if his number was being retired or what. But then when Pete Rose went after him at Old Shea Stadium,
yes. Now
that was a brawl.
Yes.
And it was one-sided.
Yes.
Charlie Hustle kicked his you-know-what.
Yes. And I did not see that earlier today. By the time I got home, I think the game had already started. But, yeah, I mean, I watched a lot of that this afternoon. It was a lot of fun. Other news, speaking of people getting honored, last night, Nelson Cruz signed a 1-day contract so that he could retire as a Mariner.
Nelson Cruz.
How about that? Nelson
retiring as a Mariner. Shouldn't we send him? Now, Johnny, you know that during the entire Jordan Brown illness. I think I might have been alone out here. Our show certainly was alone in that we were really concerned about his health. We were wanting to get an address.
You're right.
To send a get well card, a gift box too. Just keep your chin up during the whole Jordan Brown illness. Thank goodness he's okay.
Yep.
Don't know that he ever ran a degree of temperature, but thank goodness he's okay. And Brian, continuing that, I would love to get an address and send a thank you gift box to Nelson Cruz for playing in on David Freese's triple that started everything on October 27th, 2011, the greatest sports night of my life.
Yeah, and I think he'd be glad to accept it.
And he told the story. He tells it. He's playing in thinking they've got it where he could be quick to the dog pile. Nelson, without the 27th out, there's no dog pile, dude. You can't let anything get over your head. You got to play to stop triples.
That's right. Worry about your sprint speed and not where you're set up in the outfield.
Was cheating in, and the ball gets over him, and it was on. And I'm sorry for what it did to your youth, but you came around.
That's right. I came around to the good side. So Nelson Cruz retiring as a Mariner last night ahead of their opener. The other game we got going on right now, Braves and Phillies, just got tied up at 2. Someone just hit a double. They're making a pitching change now. So 2-2 in Philly as the Braves and the Phillies kick off their season after their game was rained out yesterday.
That's 2 big-time matchups. Did you notice this last night? Of course, this time, those first, certainly yesterday and today and even into tomorrow, you got aces or number 2 starters for everybody going. So it's lickety-split. It's batter up, batter down. Only one game went over 3 hours all day yesterday and last night. Everything. I mean, it was quick. We talked about the 203 for the Southsiders, but there were a lot of 213s, 223s, 227s. Man, they were getting in there and getting out.
Hey, that's what they wanted to do. I mean,
that's what they want.
Quicker, and I guess it's working.
If I'm there, the length of the game never enters into my mind, but if I'm watching at home, it does.
Yeah, I guess.
The first game of the day last Friday at FedEx Forum was about an hour, 55-minute game.
Yeah, well, it was
and then A&M and Houston still playing.
Yeah, yes, that one was a long one. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't mind. Well, I don't mind it much, or I don't notice it as much. And then there will be some games that just go by fast, and I'll look up and I'll go, "Oh my gosh, they're already in the 8th inning."
But Brian, you know the length of the game and the size of the pizza box size of the bases. That doesn't bother me at all. And
we love
all those players running in from the bullpen today to basically visit, and they were just around each other at spring training. That doesn't bother me at all.
Well, they missed each other,
that's right.
Gone, after spring training, all the guys.
Nothing to complain about for me.
No. Day 2, and but only 2 games in day 2, so a lot left. Hold on. Can I get Johnny? Do you think I could get him to crack right now?
I think you can, man.
Brett, Cardinals going tonight.
Gonna go 161-1.
You gonna watch it?
Yes, I'm not gonna watch. I'm gonna listen.
Apple TV Plus game tonight, second game of the season.
So that means I have to listen on the best network in all of baseball.
That's right. Well, we'll see how that goes. Let's get to a break. When we come back, we're talking wagering with Bruce Marshall.
Has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
This is hard to believe, but the Hyundai Santa Fe is actually better? I know, that's crazy, isn't it? The 2024 Santa Fe is new, top to bottom, and even better than before. It's almost as big as the Palisade, so roomy, and now it's got a standard 3rd row. Everybody's clamoring for that. And it's the best SUV when it comes to the ride than ever before. You know how with SUVs you love it because you're sitting high, but you don't get that luxury kind of ride like a sedan? You do with the 2024 Santa Fe. It's the best riding SUV ever, and it's quiet. It's the ultimate family car. All you've got to do to be sold is to test drive it. The people at Homer Skelton Hyundai are saying, Come try it. You'll love it. Homer Skelton Hyundai, right at the corner of Highway 78 and Craft Road. First exit in Mississippi. Go see the ultimate SUV, the 2024 Santa Fe.
Spring is around the corner. That means the sounds of air conditioners cranking up will be in the air soon. Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. This month only, receive $1,000 off the purchase of a new Carrier AC unit. No gimmicks, just $1,000 off for the Choate's Early Bird Carrier AC Special. If your AC is in good shape, call us to get your $60 20-point AC tune-up to get your AC cleaned and ready for the warm seasons ahead. Choate's is here for all your cooling, heating, plumbing, air duct cleaning, and commercial needs. Call us today at 347-8086 to take advantage of these early bird specials. Or to schedule online, visit ChoatesHVAC.com. So turn to the experts with Choates. And remember, let our family serve your family.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. Roofing and siding, gutters too. We're the pros you can trust to get it done right. Call on us. 5-Ash Roofing, the name to know. 5-Ash Roofing, the only way to go. 5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. 5-Ash Roofing.
Is that not the corniest thing you've ever heard? Can you believe I paid good money for that silly jingle? Well, the experts say make it memorable, and I think I got my money's worth. 5-Ash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5-Ash Roofing, 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
This Sports 56 traffic report is brought to you by Luttrell Building. They keep you moving.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. No shortage of radar on this gorgeous afternoon out here. Be careful on I-40 as you leave Memphis, headed out towards Fayette County. We saw some earlier over in parts of Arkansas as well. That got a little bit busy westbound I-40 headed towards Forest City. Again, as you travel through that section of Arkansas, be careful. It's already sluggish at times over here on 240 East up by Poplar. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services here in Memphis. It's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Oh, yeah. Joining the guys every Friday is college football historian and Vegas legend Bruce Marshall from Vegas Insiders, CBS Sports, and his own website, bamsports.net. With over 30 years on Memphis radio, with handicapping and sports talk, here's Bruce Marshall with Bryant and Brett.
Bruce Marshall joins us now on the Sissy's Log Cabin phone line to talk some wagering from Vegas Insider, CBS Sports, and bamsports.net. Bruce, thanks so much for joining us. And yesterday, it was opening day for Major League Baseball. A couple teams that got rained out going off their first game today. But I'm curious for you, early in the season, these first couple of weeks, you're still kind of figuring out what these teams are this season. How do you go about handicapping these games?
Well, like I normally do, Brian, I'm just trying to look for either go-withs or go-against, and sometimes you find those right off the bat. Right now, I think you can make for tonight, for example, if they play, I'm actually up in the Bay Area right now, but if they play this A's game against the Guardians tonight, I think you can make a pretty good case against Oakland almost any time they go out. I'm wondering about Colorado being a go-against side here, Washington maybe. Sometimes these teams start off like, 2-10, 2-11, something like that. And you wanted, maybe if you can take advantage of that, you can. Then you figure out if you do it twice, you do it at the run line or whatever. But sometimes if these teams are bad or good, they start off right at the start of the season. So I'm looking to catch some streaks early on if I can.
Yeah, the A's right now, tonight, the price is not that is not that much with Cleveland. Cleveland minus 130 over Oakland, 8-0 last night, and tickets available. I texted you to see if you were there, knowing you were in the Bay Area. You could have laid down on the mound.
You know, they had a protest there last night, but apparently the fans, they went in the parking lot. They didn't go in the stadium, though. That's what they're talking about up here.
And that's the problem. Too many are in the parking lot, not in the stands.
Well, I know, but they showed up deliberately not to go in the stadium, but just to kind of remind the owner, you do have some fans here, but this time we're not even going in at all. We're just going to stay out here and party among ourselves. But last time I checked, they charged you $30 to park the Coliseum, so it still cost them a little bit. But anyway, I mean, you look. There's going to be some bad and good, and you know, if you can identify them early, I mean, might as well. You know, the season moves pretty quick, so try to catch some of these early if you can.
Bruce Bryant and I have talked a lot this week about Arizona going out last night, and that's the end in football and basketball for the Pac-12. We have placed most of the blame on Larry Scott on leadership. I know it's easy out there in the college sports world to blame the Big Ten, to blame the SEC. I don't think it was the Big Ten at first, you know, because they were alliance brethren with the Pac-12, and Kevin Warren was saying the SEC were corporate raiders and, you know, just kind of contemptible human beings, and then he raided. But I think the blame should be placed at leadership, at Larry Scott. The blame in Oakland for losing Raiders, Golden State, and the A's, leadership.
Yes, it does, and you figure, you know, in Oakland they've been talking about upgrading it or getting a new stadium built for forever, and they're not going to do it, and they're going to lose their team because of it. The sad thing is there's so much money up here, and there's so many people. If they own the A's or even the Raiders before they moved, they had enough money to build the stadium on their own. They don't need a government handout for it, but so it goes up here. The Pac-12, Larry Scott certainly is part of it. I blame the majority of it, though, on the school presidents, the schools themselves, the way they set up the Pac-12 network, and they're the ones who hired Scott in the first place, and weren't overseeing it, and he spent too much money on the studios and the offices. I mean, who the heck wants to put your studios and your offices in San Francisco right now? I mean, they used to be out in the East Bay, and that was a lot better. But they erred with the Pac-12 network right at the start. They should have went like the Big Ten did, which partnered with Fox. Of course, that wasn't going to be something these West Coast guys wanted to do, or even SEC. They partnered with ESPN the whole way on it. They wanted their own. They never got clearance on DirecTV. And that arrogance, that bit of arrogance there was the seed of destruction. And then Larry Scott was just sort of following through on all the wishes and designs of these arrogant school presidents in the Pac-12. And I think I lay the blame mostly at them. Scott is an accomplice with it, and to some degree, George Klavikov, his successor. But it goes right back to the top in leadership, like you say, Brett. And in this case, I think it's Pac-12 presidents and chancellors who shoulder much of the blame.
But it's so easy to blame mean old Greg Sankey.
Yes, I know. They love. Yeah, the SEC makes a perfect target right now. But you know what? I don't think the SEC cares right now, and probably the Big Ten doesn't either. Watch the Pac-12. You know, the only time we've seen something like this, the old Southwest Conference had something like this in the 90s. Although that was a little bit more telegraphed, I think, right when Arkansas left a few years before, and it looked like that whole thing was sort of weakening there. And in the 80s, when SMU had to drop football for a couple of years, so that seemed to be sort of going quickly. The Pac-12 happened a lot quicker and a lot more suddenness. But if you look back at the Southwest Conference, they splintered everywhere. Half of them went to become the Big 12, the old Big 8 they joined with. Some of them went to what was then the WAC. Some of them went to one of them, Houston, went with what was then a very new Conference USA. So they all split up in different directions then, too. So this is just a little bit more recent. But we have seen this once in our lives in the Southwest Conference back in the 90s.
Yeah. Speaking of college athletics, a couple days ago, NCAA President Charlie Baker says that they are working to ban prop bets on college athletes across betting markets. Here in Tennessee, can't bet on college player props, but I know in other places you can. I've seen people, put out prop bets, different things. We've seen kind of in the past professional players talking about how, they have gotten DMs and different things from fans that lost a bet because of their player props or whatever. What do you make of Charlie Baker coming out and kind of taking the stand against college player props?
Yeah, I'm not sure how much he can do about it, though,
Yeah.
Unless he gets the states and the feds to do it. But I would hope the federal government has something more pressing to deal with than betting on the college sports props. But it's all regrettable that it's predictable too. I mean, some of the people that get too involved in this stuff, and I'm talking about the bettors too. I mean, there's a lot of shameless people who do this stuff, and they, threatening to, that you hear about that. I don't know if that's that prevalent, but even if it happens once, it's too much. Sure. But the NCAA, again, I mean, this is just something that sort of happened with sports gaming, and I remind everybody that until there's some sort of national oversight of this, and right now it's still, maybe there shouldn't be. Maybe this is just, this is a
it'll sort it out.
Thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let them sort it out. But I will say, in England, but that there is oversight from the federal government in England, or the national government in England. They are constantly on the sports books there for the betting markets there, especially in soccer. I mean, there's a real oversight there. But it's coming from one place, and there's not one place where it comes from now, because all of these sports books exist in states that have different laws, and that's just the way it's set up now. So, unfortunately, we just got to kind of roll with the punches, I think.
Bruce, I was opposed to it. I thought they were wrong on the safety aspect of it. But I know you'll remember a few years ago when the federal government were going to hold back big transportation dollars from the state of Louisiana until they raised the drinking age from 18 to 21. I think 18 is entirely way too young for somebody to be able to drink like that legally. I know they do, and I know I did, but and it's a lot of bad decisions made at 18. But if the good people of Louisiana, if they want to make it 15, I think it's wrong-headed. I disagree, but that's their business. I don't agree with one of the things legal in where you reside now in Nevada with prostitution. I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong on a lot of levels for the person and the John. That's what we call them. But if they want to do it, and if Idaho wants to make their speed limit 95 miles per hour, that's their business.
Yeah, that's just the way we're set up here. And in Nevada, there's only a couple of locales that allow that, by the way. But you're right. This is the way we're set up with this stuff, and it just gets awkward when the political stuff starts spilling into the sports too, and you have threatening bans on states. Listen, I think California still doesn't, state schools there, they still won't pay for transportation to schools playing, if you're playing a game in a state they don't like. I don't know that they even pay the transportation for it for some of their schools. So, I mean, it goes a lot of different ways, and all of it is kind of distasteful, I think.
I said the other day on that issue, I don't remember, I think it was Jerry Ford was president when he told New York City to drop dead. I think that's what these sports books are going to tell Charlie Baker. Charlie, yeah. Sorry, we're not listening to you.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'm with you. We're talking to Bruce Marshall from Vegas Insider, CBS Sports, and BAMSports.net. Well, it was a fun night in the Sweet 16 games last night, but we've got the rest of them going off tonight, and I'm excited about them. I'm curious, though, looking at these games, I know a lot of people that listen in. We got a lot of Tennessee fans that listen. They go late tonight against Creighton. Right now, Tennessee a 3.5-point favorite over the Blue Jays. What do you think about that late night game tonight?
Yeah, I think Tennessee's interesting. On that number's moved up a little bit. It was 2.5, now they've been up to 3.5. I thought Creighton was very, very fortunate to get by get by Oregon last Sunday. And you need some breaks like that, but they really shouldn't have won. I don't think they would have had Oregon. Well, one, if Shellstead, the third scorer, second guard, did not get hurt in the second half, he hadn't scored to that point in the second half. He'd scored in the first half, but they replaced him with a Rigsby, who ended up being a minus. He had a couple turnovers, dropped a ball out of bounds. And also, Dante missing that last free throw. On an inbounds pass, you should never throw it to a guy who's a 60% free throw shooter. That Oregon sort of invited that at the end. But they had that game won and let Creighton off the hook. Creighton did beat UConn this year, so they've got some upside there, though I think Tennessee matches them pretty well. They do as a good matchup and neutralizes Kalkbrenner, I think, down on the blocks. They don't have anybody like Connect on Creighton's side, and I still think they missed Kaluma a little bit this year. He was a transfer into Kansas State. He gave them some more explosiveness, I thought. So I fully expect Tennessee to win this game and advance on to the Elite Eight.
Wow. I like that. I would love to see Tennessee win again. Another one I'm curious of, we saw this matchup already in Maui once this season, but Gonzaga and Purdue on TBS and True TV tonight. Purdue with Zach Edey, they're a 5.5-point favorite tonight. What do you think about that one?
I sort of like Gonzaga, but I will say this. I think I might have been shortchanging Purdue for much of this season. I think this is a little different than the last few years. I made a joke at the start of the tournament. What do North Texas and St. Peter's and Fairleigh Dickinson have in common? Well, those are the three that knocked out Purdue from the tournament the last 3 years. But this team, and I think Matt Painter sort of borrowed something from Mike Budenholzer when he won the NBA title at the Bucks a few years ago. Roughly borrowed it. Just set up four shooters really around Zach Edey. Budenholzer did that around Giannis. Now Giannis and Edey aren't the same player, but the concept is the same. Spread out the floor, guys who can really shoot, and theoretically it should loosen the coverage on your main star. In Purdue's case, Edey's gotten better at kicking the ball out, but we see the same thing. Defense is trying to collapse in, help out on Edey, but Purdue has sort of opened up more looks for these guys from the perimeter, whether it be Smith, Lawyer, whoever, and they're hitting 41% of their triples. That's second in the country. And when you add a guy like Edey in there, I mean, this is a formula that might carry Matt Painter all the way. Having said that, though, I think Gonzaga can play them tougher than the first meeting, although they led that one at halftime, and that was the Maui Classic played in Honolulu this year, that first Monday. I was at an airport watching that game, and Gonzaga had a shot, and then they just couldn't hit a bucket in the second half. I think you will try to make Zach Edey work harder on defense, which means a lot of pick and roll, and they do a lot of that drop coverage in Purdue as well. But they want to get Edey moving more on defense and maybe get him out there away from the basket a bit where he could get in some foul trouble perhaps. So they will run that to death tonight and see if it works. And they're a much better team than they were back in mid-November, too. So I think Gonzaga hangs around tonight, and I'm not sure they can win, but 5.5, that number's moved up from 4.5. Does give you a little cushion there. I'm leaning a little bit to the Zags.
Bruce, I know you know the whole saga through all the years, back to Elvin Hayes, to Louis Dunbar, to Rob Williams, to Phi Slamma Jamma, all the coaches, Guy V, and Kelvin Sampson. Are you kind of pulling for Houston? I am, after seeing them here in Memphis last weekend. They've never won it. It's the only thing they lack. They've played on the last night of the year a couple of times, but they've never won it. They've had some heartbreak. They gave away the game famously in '83 in Albuquerque. I'm kind of pulling for Houston. Do you have any soft spot for anybody out there?
A little bit for Houston, and Sampson, too. He's been around for so long, and he's endured some knocks in his career, and I think everybody seems to like Kelvin Sampson. For his sake, that's sort of a nice storyline. For me, though, I'm sort of in this NC State storyline, and just because it reminds me of '83, which was one of my favorite all-time March storylines when NC State won it against all odds that year. But I kind of this storyline is interesting with NC State. By the way, now this is a rematch tonight of the '74 title game against Marquette. A lot of people forget about that.
Oh yeah,
game.
Al McGuire lost his mind that night.
Well, he did. He lost in the game. He had two technical fouls within 50 seconds late in the first half.
Full Draymond.
Yeah, and they were up 1, and next thing you know, they're down 9. There's a 10-0 run, and most of it on free throws. And he went nuts after a goaltending call against Bo Ellis. And the goaltending technical. It was only one free throw then, but they kept the ball. He didn't get thrown out of the game because back then the two technicals didn't throw you out yet. So he stayed on the sideline, but he did and after he admitted he did it for damage. Having said that, though, I don't know that Marquette gets the revenge here. I really think NC State's got some run left in it, and finally, they've won a couple of close ones here, which you have to do. Burns is a real force. They don't overdo it on the threes, which is what I like. Marquette was having a lot of trouble with Western Kentucky until the last few minutes and put the Hilltoppers away last week, and then let Colorado back in the game. Colorado's good, but they still let Colorado back in it on the weekend. Even though Kolek is back, I think NC State's got a shot, and they're playing with house money here. Very dangerous. I wouldn't be surprised if you see NC State in the Elite Eight.
Wow.
Oh, bold pick. I like that. Yeah, 74 game, the semis, David Thompson, they had, knocked UCLA out.
Yeah.
And right after the game, a reporter asked Bill Walton, well, what about Monday night in the consolation game? He said, I'm not playing any consolation game. You can forget it. And then the reporter goes and asks Coach Wooden, says, well, Bill Walton says he's not playing in the consolation game on Monday night. And they said that John Wooden responded and said, William is very misguided. He will play on Monday night.
Yeah, he did. Although he didn't end up. I think they let the other guys start that game, but
they let Drollinger start.
Yeah, and they brought the starters back in at the start of the second half when Kansas was up 9 at halftime, and UCLA went on a 25-3 blitz and ended up winning. But yeah, Walton threatened, but Wooden gave a lot of a run to his reserves in that game.
So who was back up? Swin Nader or Ralph Drollinger?
That year, Drollinger was. Nader was the first 2 years. Drollinger was that year.
Yeah, but I love it. He said, no, William is very misguided. He will play on Monday night.
Yes.
That's funny. Wow. So, yeah, it should be some fun games tonight. I do love that NC State. And big number, 7.5-point underdog tonight against Marquette. I like that a lot. But before we let you go, Bruce, what do you like tonight in Major League Baseball?
Well, I sort of like the Braves here this afternoon, but they were behind 2-0 last I looked.
3-2.
Oh, no, they're getting there now.
There we go.
Is it? They got 3-2 now?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I sort of like Strider in that game against the Phils, so there's one there. I was thinking that Pittsburgh here tonight got the win last night, and I'm thinking they're still a little bit undervalued here now. Puck is into the rotation now for Florida, or for Miami. He's making the transition from being a reliever. That might be a little bit awkward. And, we mentioned about the Guardians before. Why not Cleveland here tonight? I did it on the run line. But Oakland's offense looks awfully anemic, only 4 hits last night, and couldn't get a run at all. And this is Cleveland make some hay here. Looks like Brett said, there are plenty of tickets available tonight in Oakland, so I'll take the other way.
Sections available. Yeah. To see the old Oakland A's, Stephen Voigt, managing the Guardians.
Yes, that's right. That's right. There's a few. They have a couple quotes in the papers. A few A fans that'll show up say or ones that actually went to the stadium last night said we just wanted to see Voigt because he was our old guy. So
yeah, who knew the dreaded Mark Kotsay versus Stephen Voigt matchup?
Jeez.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Wow. Well, Bruce, tell us where we can find more of you.
Thank you, Brian. Check me out online, VegasInsider.com. Got picks there. College hoops, NBA, NHL, MLB now. And we got all the picks through this weekend for, obviously, Sweet 16 tonight and Elite 8 the weekend. That's VegasInsider.com. My stuff also up there at CBS Sportsline, Sportsline.com. Once in a while, CBS Sports HQ.
Bruce, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the weekend. We'll do it again next Friday.
Okay, gentlemen. Have a happy Easter. Thank you.
Happy Easter to you, too.
Thank you, Bruce. And you and yours be safe in the Bay Area and enjoy the rest of Good Friday and into the weekend being with family and friends. I know he's glad to be around one of his daughters there in the Bay Area. You know, Brian, a lot of times in whatever, you need a run of good luck. And I've talked the other day with Dave, we were talking about when the tournament went from NBC to CBS. Mm-hmm. NBC's last one was 81. In the last few years at NBC, the games were kind of blowouts. The Saturday semis weren't great. It goes to CBS in 82, and they get the Jordan shot in 82.
Wow.
They get Phi Slamma Jamma going down to NC State and Jimmy V in 83. Yep. They get finally the loop being closed for John Thompson, Patrick Ewing, Michael Graham in Georgetown in 84. And then in 85, they get a night that Villanova never misses a game and pulls the upset over Georgetown.
Wow. I mean, hey, talk about a better streak. I mean, that's crazy.
You got to get a little luck sometimes, and the CBS coverage of the tournament just so great. Last night with how they bounce around from games, not as much last night with a few, more limited opposed to last weekend, but they just do a great job with it.
No, they absolutely do, and the coverage. I mean, no matter what game you tune in for, I mean, you're going to get a good broadcast team, and then when they go back to the studio, it's just great from start to finish.
It is. And Ernie Johnson just Mr. Smooth, and I don't mind the more identified as pro players and pro analysts like Barkley, Kenny Smith, and company. I don't mind that because they were great collegians. It was just a long time ago. I don't mind that. And tonight we'll get the A team. We'll get Ian Eagle and Bill Raftery. And I like when Raftery goes full. It's not even intelligible English when he just goes.
Yes.
What did he just say?
Well, it's a good game then. You're in for a great one. So it'll be fun tonight.
It will be. It's Chevy truck season at All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch, first exit into Mississippi on Highway 78. You're there at Kraft Goodman Road, all the Silverados you can imagine, all weekend long, right there in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet. Get any new Silverado you want with financing down to 0.9. Your good credit deserves it, and you get it instantly at All-Star. Trailblazers, Equinox with 1.9 financing, no payments for 90 days, and families just love the new Suburban, so we all can do more together. Where are you going this weekend? Where are you going for spring break? Where are you going for that first big baseball trip? Military, teachers, college students, healthcare workers all get extra $500 bonus back. First responders as well. You want pre-owned? They've got it. Everything you want's at All-Star, all the Jeeps, Ram trucks. You can drive a Yukon Denali or a Traverse. If it's not on the lot, ask Jeff or Kevin. They'll find it for you with their great contacts. And everyone at All-Stars wish everyone a great Good Friday and the rest of the weekend into Easter, and a happy springtime as well. Remember, it's not South Haven, not Mount Moriah, Bartlett, or Collierville. It's got to be Olive Branch. Go to All-Star Chevy today or go to allstarautogroup.com.
We're excited for these games tonight to wrap up the Sweet 16. So let's go ahead and get to a break. And when we come back, we'll start breaking down some of the matchups we'll see in a couple of hours. That's next on Sports Time.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Welcome to the Rendezvous.
This is John Vergas. When my dad started the Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making the Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Vergas Rendezvous, serving the official barbecue of the Memphis Grizzlies.
Are you aware? It's patio season. Family Leisure sure is. That's why they have factory direct pricing on swimming pools, spas, and even, yes, patio furniture. Yes, sir. It's indeed patio season. So come by Family Leisure and check out all the brand new 2024 patio furniture sets. And with patio season here, you know that pool season will be here before you even know it. So buy now to get in line for your pool installation and get preseason pricing. Plus, you could save $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, even up to $5,000 on all spas and swim spas. Family Leisure has got special pricing on all in-stock saunas, theater seating, pool tables, and even outdoor kitchens. I love it when it's patio season because of all the fantastic deals that Family Leisure makes available just for you. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Do you have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp today. We have representatives nationwide and services to showcase your invention. Get started today.
Call 1-800-217-4380. That's 1-800-217-4380.
Is your home screaming for an upgrade? Listen closely because Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing is about to make your day. First up, say goodbye to cold showers and hello to endless hot water with our tankless water heater upgrade. Not only does it save space and energy, but it also keeps the hot water flowing exactly when you need it. And here's the kicker. Switch from your old tank to a sleek, efficient tankless water heater now, and Choate's will hand you a $500 credit. Yep, you heard that right. $500 back in your pocket. But wait, there's more. Clogged drains are a hassle no homeowner wants to deal with. With Choate's special offer, get your drains cleared for just $93 or it's absolutely free. That's our guarantee to make it drain or you don't pay a dime. So why wait? Call Choate's today at 347-8086 or visit us online at choateshvac.com. And remember, Choate's, let our family serve your family.
It's time to discover your new Kia at Gossett Kia on the Pike. And there's never been a better time to drive off in your new Kia. Make it happen today in a 2024 Kia Forte LXS. 41 MPG, $219 a month. How about sporty 2024 Kia Sportage LX? We gossip $289 a month. Both $34.99 to its signing. And get rugged in 2024 Kia Telluride LX. $429 a month. $39.99 to its signing, all 36-month lease. So call Bobby J to put you in a new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online anytime at KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we Gossett and Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE72, $39.85, MSRP $22,320. Sportage R7, $24,7640, MSRP $29,635. Telluride RG $49,9963, MSRP $41,005. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax on license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/1/2024. Dealer stock only.
If you love sports and Mexican food, you can get the best of both at Los Cabos Mexican Bar and Grill on Summer near Graham. Watch all the big games on all the big TVs on all the walls at Los Cabos and enjoy premium tequila shots anytime for just $5.50. Celebrate every day with lunch specials from 10 to 3 and happy hour from 3 to 8. Lunch is just $6.75 to $10.99 and margaritas start at $3.99. Experience real Mexican cuisine along with great sports at Los Cabos on Summer near Graham.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. A couple of disabled vehicles out here in the last 15-20 minutes. Still wants to run a little bit sluggish over here at times on 240 East up by Poplar. It's been that way on and off this week. A little bit of work that was going on over there. Traffic still moving right now. 385 Billmores Parkway. Right when you come off 240, continuing out into Collierville. No shortage of radar out here, especially I-40 out in Fayette County. Be careful. 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services here in Memphis. It's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you in our Family Leisure Studios. And wow, this Braves game, anybody that's just listening in, not paying attention to it, I stepped out into the hallway during the break. It was 3-2. Now it is 5-2. And the Braves are in full control, bases loaded with 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning. So, hey, you know, we knew the Braves were going to be good this year, but here we go. They turned it on midway through this game, and it doesn't look like they're going to look back.
Old number 75 for the Phillies just walked in a run at 6-2.
Wow.
Bravos and base runners everywhere. They've broken it open, and Spencer Strider was real good early. They didn't get to him that much. He kept them in the game.
Yeah, he did, and they bats were kind of quiet early, but then here we go with the Philly relievers. They have been an issue today. I think both starters were really good today for both the Braves and the Phillies. Kind of kept it that low scoring, and then since the relievers have come in, Braves relievers have been fine, but it's the Phillies relievers that have really struggled this afternoon.
Well, I'm glad I was judicious and calm and resolute yesterday after the Cardinals starting 0-1.
Yeah.
I must say a lot in Cardinal country are not that. I peeked into Matt Pauley's show last night after the game,
yes,
and into the talk portion of the Cardinal Network. Ooh, wow. People, it's 0-1.
Well, I think it was, and look, I'm not a part of those people. I did not have any fiery reaction after that game yesterday, but I think if it was a loss that was a little bit different than the loss that we saw yesterday, maybe other people showing up except for Paul Goldschmidt, maybe the reaction would have been a little different, but I think it was the way they lost. I mean, you go down, you look through that lineup, and you see, okay, 3 hits, it's not great, but then you look even further and you go, oh, Paul Goldschmidt with all 3 hits, then it's a little more troubling.
And still, back to last year. Last time the Cardinals were a little old measly 1 over 500.
Here we
was
go.
2-1 last year.
Yeah, well,
that's not criticism. That's just a fact.
No. Well, the Cardinals AAA team not doing much better this afternoon as they start the season. They're down 4-1 right now.
Home opener at 3rd and Union for the Redbirds. Home all weekend. I'm going Sunday afternoon, Easter Sunday. 25th year of AutoZone Park, famously opened on April 1st, 2000. Now, we didn't have any games played there in 2020 because of COVID.
Right.
So 24 seasons that they have completed there. And remember, the 2 seasons played out at its fairgrounds in 98 and 99 as the AAA affiliate of the Cardinals. But I'm looking forward to going to Sunday and seeing the ballpark. I know they really lament how the money was divvied up and they didn't get a part of it. And I can't blame them. They've got to lobby for their cause. And maybe something can be done. I can't imagine a world where we just let AutoZone Park crumble.
No, I don't either. And I would hate to see it because I think, a good stadium, it's in a good spot downtown. And
part of the rebirth
absolutely.
Of downtown.
And so I think it's
the linchpin. Yeah. Many said would not have gotten the FedEx Forum deal that led to getting the Grizzlies. Wow. No FedEx Forum, no Grizzlies without what was done for AutoZone Park.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd hate to see that.
I would too.
I love going to Redbirds games. I love going and seeing baseball down there. Certainly needs improvement, I think, but it's a nice stadium, and so hopefully they can work something out, figure something out to keep it nice, keep it there, and more importantly, I think keep the Redbirds there.
It shows every day of 25 years, though.
It does. It does in all aspects of it.
And that's why if you were at a Tiger game this year or a Grizzlies game or last weekend and you're sitting at FedEx Forum and go, well, there's nothing wrong with this. I don't even want to go in that voice. If you're sitting there and you go, there's nothing wrong with this. This is plenty fine. Mm-hmm. No, you've got to keep up. It's just like, a couple of layers of paint on your house really helps every now and then.
Yeah. And I mean, you look at how
Troy Fiveash is selling new roofs for a reason.
That's right. And I mean, you talk about 25 years and of AutoZone Park. I mean, I don't know if people thought that things would, in terms of stadiums, would move as fast as they have in 25 years. But
it moves fast.
It moves really fast, and everyone is trying to improve. Everyone's trying to update their facilities, and so you got to stick with it, or you're going to be left behind.
Almost close enough in that same 25 years, the Titan Stadium has become obsolete, and they're moving into something so futuristic and unimaginable. The first time I ever went to a game there, I just thought it was the Taj Mahal. Right. Heck, when I was there last summer for a party at SEC Media Days, I thought I'd take this right now at the fairgrounds.
Oh yeah, no.
Move this whole thing in this condition. We'll take it.
We'll take it any day, I think. And so, but
But it moves fast.
It moves, and so you certainly don't want to get left behind.
I've talked about the first time I went to Reunion Arena, and I think the first time I went was for an NBA playoff game. I'm there for a wedding, and I wasn't in the wedding, so on Friday night I didn't have any duties or responsibilities.
Right.
And trust me, I showed no responsibility at all most of that weekend, and went to a Mavericks-Lakers playoff game and walked in Reunion Arena. No, I'd been to Reunion Arena at a Southwest Conference tournament before that, but walked in and just thought, this is better than Streets of Gold.
Wow.
This is the most perfect place. And at the end of it, with American Airlines Center built right there in Dallas, it was, just a humpty place.
Yeah. And
it happens.
It does, and it happens fast. So hopefully, I hope they get money somehow and can figure something
I do too.
out. Because I want it to stick around. I want the Redbirds to stick around.
I do too,
but
badly.
Tonight we've got the rest of the Sweet 16 games going off in.
You have a favorite game?
I mean, I love Gonzaga. I love watching Gonzaga
All
play.
right, rank those coaches for me, just like we did last night.
Jeez. I will go.
Who's best?
I'll go Few, then Sampson, but extremely close.
Hard to argue, isn't it?
Hard to argue.
I'm going to take Kelvin Sampson,
Yeah.
but I can't say you're wrong.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think they're so close. I think they can be very.
So the battle's for third, isn't it?
Yeah. And I'll go
Shaka or Barnes?
I'll go Barnes. Number 3. And
Shaka's been to a Final Four with VCU.
I don't care. I'll take Rick Barnes.
Will you?
Yeah.
I think I'll take Shaka.
All right. I like it. And Shaka, I mean, what he's done with this team, and I know the biggest favorite tonight against NC State, who's been fun to watch, but what he's done with this team, 27-9, and they've got it rolling. I know a lot of people really like them to go far in this tournament. Win tonight, you're in the Elite Eight and one step closer to getting to Arizona.
And what a story for Kevin Keats. And again, we're I don't think we're on the verge of it. Mm-hmm. He wins tonight. We're full 83 Jimmy V. Oh, yeah. Might already be.
Yeah.
With the run that he's on, and he was on the way out. Remember, talking SEC, ACC Challenge, they lost to Ole Miss in Oxford.
Wow, you're right. I forgot about that. Not kind of. I completely forgot about
24-14. That's a lot of games, isn't it?
A lot of games. And, a team that has been clicking at the right time. Absolutely nobody would have had them in without winning the conference tournament. And, they just got hot in that conference tournament and now have continued to stay hot here in March.
Doug McDermott and Matt Painter, I think their picture is by the word solid. Mm-hmm. The definition of solid coaches in the dictionary, but they need a little more.
Sure.
Doug McDermott at a tougher spot, but they're in the Big East.
Yeah.
Let's don't make it sound like they're in the Big Sky.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you're certainly a really good conference. I think a good program that he has created at Creighton, and I think you just constantly know that they're going to be in the top 25 pretty much every year. They're going to go into the NCAA tournament and probably most times get into that second and third round. So, I love what he's done at Creighton.
I guess I know I will. If Tennessee wins and what Alabama did, I'll get my SEC flag out and start flying it around. But I still don't really care. I don't really have that big a preference on who wins it. When I watch Illinois on that Tuesday night in January when it's cold there and it's cold here, and when they're at Assembly Hall, and I watch Purdue that same night in a game, and they're at Mackey Arena, both of those fan bases, they bring it. They bring it from opening night all the way through that Big Ten, and I think it'd be fun for them to finally get rewarded.
Yeah, I think so, and especially with Purdue. I mean, that fan base is loyal, and what they went through last year, and having a good team and a dominant big man. I think it'd be fun to see them, be able to break that and get to Arizona. I don't know if I want them to win the whole thing, but I wouldn't mind them, seeing them go far.
To one of our media buddies that covers Alabama, and when I say that, it's 99.9% Alabama football, and the rest of it you can divvy it up to baseball and gymnastics and men's basketball and softball all you want. I sent a Roll Tide to him text last night, and he said, just get me to football season.
I mean, that's what it is. I mean,
he sent me back the number of days till football season.
I mean, we talked about it yesterday. No matter how good Alabama basketball is and how good Nate Oates is of a coach, they're just always going to be number 2 to football. It's just how it goes.
I said back to him, I said, if Nate Oates, still got a lot to do.
Yeah.
Got to win tomorrow, got to win next Saturday afternoon, got to win next Monday night, week from Monday night.
Yep.
But if he does, statue out there by Coach Bryant, Coach Saban, with the national champion football coaches.
Why not?
Wallace Wade, all of them.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'd be for that.
Boy, lightning might hit Bryant Denny if you did that.
Woo. Yeah, I mean, hey, I think talking about it is it's much different from actually doing it. But, hey, we talked about it earlier with a different team. I mean, Alabama much closer right now to winning it than they were a week ago.
Let's do the proverbial if they were signing autographs at the mall.
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking about Corey Seager the other day. If he's at a mall in Dallas and the Cowboys punter is on the other end of the mall, who gets more? Who does more? Probably the punter.
Yep.
Dalton Knecht wins it all for Tennessee.
Okay.
And he's on one end of the mall signing autographs, and Peyton Manning's on the other.
You're going this way.
Who's got the longest line?
Peyton Manning.
It's not even close.
Peyton.
Not even close.
Hey,
John.
Brent, I'm going to make sure I'm in that line.
I am too. I'm going to be in the Peyton line.
People will forget that Dalton Knecht's even there signing autographs if Peyton's on one end. I mean, it'd be unanimous, I think.
Stop it off. I'm handing that line, man.
What if it's Dalton Knecht and Nico on the other end of the mall?
I think it's still Nico.
Mile long for Nico.
Yeah, I think it's still Nico, unfortunately.
Probably could run Haskell stand back out there and he'd have a longer line.
Well, you probably could. But, Dalton Knecht, big game for him tonight. It's a big one.
It is.
And it's a late one. So I hope everyone's
And I'm pulling for Tennessee.
Sure.
I guess. Whatever.
Whatever. Just to wave the SEC flag, if anything. But let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
This is hard to believe, but the Hyundai Santa Fe is actually better. I know, that's crazy, isn't it? The 2024 Santa Fe is new, top to bottom, and even better than before. It's almost as big as the Palisade, so roomy, and now it's got a standard third row. Everybody's clamoring for that. And it's the best SUV when it comes to the ride than ever before. You know how with SUVs you love it because you're sitting high, but you don't get that luxury kind of ride like a sedan? You do with the 2024 Santa Fe. It's the best riding SUV ever, and it's quiet. It's the ultimate family car. All you've got to do to be sold is to test drive it. The people at Homer Skelton Hyundai are saying, come try it. You'll love it. Homer Skelton Hyundai, right at the corner of Highway 78 and Craft Road. First exit in Mississippi. Go see the ultimate SUV, the 2024 Santa Fe.
Welcome to the Rendezvous.
This is John Vergas. When my dad started the Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making the Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Vergas Rendezvous, a legendary experience for over 75 years, whether you dine in, pick up, or ship across the country.
If you've tried to buy a Rolex watch lately, you know how difficult it is. New models are in rare supply. Some jewelers put you on wait lists. Others make you buy their other jewelry at inflated prices just to be considered for a Rolex purchase. Well, that's all changed now that Genesis Diamonds has arrived. Genesis Diamonds is the premier dealer of luxury pre-owned Rolex timepieces. People who come in are shocked to see Daytonas, Hulks, Submariners, Pepsis, Datejusts, all the hard-to-find Rolex watches ready to wear today. At Genesis, we've used our worldwide connections to find only the first luxury pre-owned Rolexes, immaculate, pristine watches, fairly priced with no strings attached, and with flexible financing options. So enough with the wait list and the retail jeweler games. Get the Rolex of your dreams today at Genesis Diamonds. And if you already have a Rolex and are interested in trading up, we also have Rolex buyers on site every day. Just another example of how we're forever changing the jewelry landscape here. Genesis Diamonds, official jeweler of the Tennessee Titans, at Poplar and Perkins Extended.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets, but I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there. To learn more, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Jason, the main man Marshall's marking down everything on the lot. He just can't help himself.
I love making my customers happy at Gossett Volkswagen on Covenant Pike.
Well, Jason, how you doing it this month?
With deals like this, Randy, choose from 2024 Taos S, 2024 Tiguan S, or a 2024 Jetta Sport. Take your pick, just $275.96 a month.
Jason, how about Tiguans?
How about 0% for 60 months on 24 Tiguans, plus 1.9 for 60 months on all Atlas and Atlas Cross Sports, and no reasonable offer will be refused.
So hook up with Jason, the main man Marshall at Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike, or go online, GossettVWMemphis.com.
Just come see me, Jason, the main man Marshall at Gossett Volkswagen on Covenant Pike, where we're charging forward and charging less every day.
Gossett Volkswagen, 1875 Covington Pike. All 36 monthly, $7,500 per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Taos, RMO 53314, MSRP 26063. Tiguan, RM 003120, MSRP 30026. Jetta, RMO 48802, MSRP 25506. Cannot combine APR with 3,000 customer cash rebate. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details with approved credit. Dealer stock only. Offer expires into the month.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brand. It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
Well, my big number today is the number 50. Somewhat big number. It's certainly bigger than my number yesterday, which was the number 1. This one comes from college basketball. It has to do with the Clemson Tigers. Clemson entered March Madness, their first game, even though they were the higher seed in a 6 versus 11 matchup, they were underdogs to New Mexico. They were also underdogs in their second game to Baylor, and then last night they were underdogs to the number 2 seeded Arizona Wildcats. In those 3 games, though, the Tigers trailed for a grand total of a combined 50 seconds.
Great number.
I mean, unbelievable.
That is good stuff, Brian.
What Clemson has done over these
I thought New Mexico would beat it a week ago right now. We were talking about it.
We were, and I thought that they were going to win. And
they couldn't throw it in the ocean. I mean, and the defense was a lot of the reason why.
It was. Clemson won that game handedly. They were in control for most of the game against Baylor, and they were in control most of the game last night against Arizona. So it's been really, really impressive. A team that lost 3 of their final 4 games, lost in the first round of their conference tournament against Boston College. To see them do that has been it's been hard to fathom, honestly.
It really is, and that is 2 preeminent college football brands meeting for a trip to the Final Four. My big number is 99. I go to Bama or Clemson. We'll make it 99 teams all time to make it to the Final Four. We're at 98 right now. UConn and Illinois won't add to it. They both have been. Houston, Duke won't. North Carolina State, Marquette won't. Purdue, Gonzaga won't. But UT and Creighton can. So we could have an even 100 teams all time to make it to the Final Four if either UT or Creighton makes it there. We know we're going to get to 99 with Bama and Clemson.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. But
that's a third of the sport.
It is, which is impressive. It really is. But last night I thought we were going to be talking today about how after Clemson beat Arizona, I thought today's conversation was going to be about, all right, we're at least guaranteed that there will be at least one ACC team in the Final Four.
I did too.
But now here we are with Alabama pulling that upset last night.
I'm not real big on anybody out-coaching somebody, and I don't think that's the case. I just thought Nate Oates got on a little hotter roll down the stretch last night than Hubert Davis.
Yeah, I mean,
and
shot
it
the ball
was
better,
his
made more
personnel. It
shots.
wasn't really him.
No, it was just kind of turned into a shootout, and Alabama was able to make a couple stops down the stretch that ultimately paid off big. And yeah, I mean, I don't think it was a big coaching win for Nate Oates or anything, but it's certainly a big win for Alabama.
Brian, I made a huge mistake to you and Johnny on the rundown today. I left out something big, and we haven't made note of it.
Okay.
At 5:30, when we look at what's trending,
yes.
everything going on.
We've made note of the conference, of the league. We've also made note of the team. We've also made note of what we're going to be doing, kind of, because we talked about gambling on this league.
Showboat bankroll.
That's right. We touched all.
Oh yes, sir. I love this.
Here comes Johnny. I've never
done this.
Oh, here we go.
Never watched the UFL.
Imaginary $1,000 in the bank account, Johnny. Be careful.
Yeah.
Those UFL streets can get ugly with $1,000 on the line.
Yeah. That's the thing about the big difference between Showboat bankroll and Tiger bankroll.
It's a short window.
It's a very short window, but we spend the prior 2 months before we start Tiger bankroll, more than that, talking about the team and the roster and what they're going to look like. I mean, I got one Showboat right now I can name, maybe.
We're going to learn the team together. I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. I'm excited for
Speaking of brackets, Johnny was already had everybody adore me. He's at 30. Last night went 2-2, so he's at 39-13. That's still great picking, and he has Houston over Duke. He's already lost on Kentucky. He's got Purdue over Gonzaga, and he's got Tennessee over Creighton. Who called them Creighton last year? I can't remember. It was a news person. I can't remember. Anyway, I went 1-3 last night. Dave went 1-3 last night. I don't know why I'm grading Dave's with hard, but I just kind of do. I love him to death. We're both 31-21. Dave can still get UConn to the Final Four. I can too. That's all we can get on the left side. He can get Houston. I can get Houston. He can get Marquette. I can't. I had Kentucky. I can get Tennessee. He can't. He had Oregon, and we both have Purdue. And Bryant, you are at 30-22, 1-3 last night. You have UConn still alive on the left side. That's it. That's it. You don't even have them going to the Final Four. You have Houston on the right side, Purdue on the right side, and Tennessee on the right side. So you can get Tennessee right and be looking for a place to live this weekend.
I guess so.
That's what you got working. That's a pretty big bet.
Yeah, perfect. On Easter weekend.
Homeless.
Might be calling friends. Hey, you got a couch I can sleep on for the night? I mean, good Lord. But that's life in the Dacus household, I guess.
I don't blame them.
No, I don't blame them at all. But it's I'm excited for these games tonight. We're going to talk a little bit more about them, I'm sure, at 5:30 when we talk about what's trending after we make our picks for Showboat Bankroll, which I know everyone's going to be eager to hear at 5:30. But let's go ahead, wrap up this hour. And when we come back to start our third hour, we're talking Tiger basketball with Jason Munns.
The 75th anniversary sales event is on at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, and we've got Rockin' Ronnie Smith ready to put you in your new V-Dub today.
That's right, Randy. 3 is your lucky number. 2024 Taos S, or a 2024 Tiguan S, or a 2024 Jetta Sport. Your choice. $275.96 per month.
Plus, Gossett Volkswagen Germantown's got 2024 Atlas Cross Sport $33,999. Plus 1.9 for 60 months on all Atlas and Atlas Cross Sports, and 0 for 60 months on 24 Tiguans. But only at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown.
Come see me, Rockin' Ronnie Smith, and let me put you in your new V-Dub today.
Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or online, GossettVWG.com. All 36-month lease, 7,500 miles, 20 cents excess mileage. Do not combine APR offer with 3,000 customer cash rebate. House RMO 53314, MSRP 26063, Tiguan RM 003120, MSRP 30,026, Jetta RMO 48802, MSRP 25506, Cross RC 23156, MSRP 38,998. Includes all rebates and incentives. BF 695 excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
Spring is in the air, and so are the savings at Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. Hi, this is Lauren Choate. As we welcome clearer skies and brighter days, it's the perfect time to clear up something else, your home's air quality. Right now, for a limited time only, get a free dryer vent cleaning with every air duct cleaning service. Did you know that cleaning your air ducts can not only improve your home's air quality, but also increase your HVAC system's efficiency? Well, it's not just about efficiency. It's about safety and reducing the risk of dryer fires significantly. With Choate's expert technicians, you can rest assured that your air ducts and dryer vent will be cleaned thoroughly, leaving your home safer in your air pressure. All it takes to breathe easier and save, just one call to Choate's. But hurry, this offer won't last forever. Schedule your air duct cleaning service today. Give us a call at 347-8086 or visit us online, choateshvac.com. Choates, let our family serve your family.
Hi, folks. Bob Burkheimer for Sunrise Buick GMC Truck. What a great time to buy a new or used car or truck and save money at Sunrise. The largest selection in over a year, over 500 new Buicks and GMCs to choose from, an $8 million used car inventory. See them all at sunrisememphis.com. Factory rebates up to $6,000 and Sunrise discounts high as $10,000. Immediate financing available with loans low as 0% on select models. Cars and trucks under $10,000. When it comes to selection and savings, it doesn't get any better than this, partner. Come on in and save some money at Sunrise. Covington Pike, Wolf Chase, and Collierville.
Excellent, phenomenal, and awesome are just a few of the words that people have said online to describe their experience at 117 Prime, Memphis's premier downtown dining destination. And they're all true. Everyone, and I mean everyone, who works at 117 Prime strives for one thing: excellence. No one at Prime settles for not putting in the maximum effort in making your dining experience something you won't just cherish, but one you'll tell your friends about. There are a lot of things maybe you should keep to yourself, but telling a friend about 117 Prime is the one thing you can feel really confident about.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth, and if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-357-6499. 800-357-6499. 800-357-6499.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
It's time to discover your new Kia at Gossett Kia on the Pike. And there's never been a better time to drive off in your new Kia. Make it happen today in a 2024 Kia Forte LXS. 41 MPG, $219 a month. How about sporty 2024 Kia Sportage LX? We Gossett $289 a month. Both $34.99 to its signing. And get rugged in 2024 Kia Telluride LX. $429 a month. $39.99 to its signing, all 36-month lease. So call Bobby J to put you in a new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online anytime at KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE72, $39.85, MSRP $22,320. Sportage R7, $24,7640, MSRP $29,635. Telluride RG, $49,9963, MSRP $41,005. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax on license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/1/2024. Dealer stock only.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. We still got a little bit of heavy traffic over here on 240 East between Billmores Parkway and Poplar. I still see slow traffic as you head out towards Forest City, out in that section of Arkansas, west of Memphis there on 40 going westbound. You need extra time out through there. It looks like the interstate still running pretty slow go just before you get into Forest City. A 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in Memphis. It's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Final hour of a very busy, fun week, and we start this final hour with our final visit with Jason Munn, sadly, from the Commercial Appeal on all things Tiger basketball beat. It's been so much fun since the first Friday in November all the way through all the ups and downs of the Tiger year. We wish it had ended differently on the court, but it was so much fun visiting with him about it every Friday, brought to you by Jim's Place Grill. Over 100 years of charcoal grill steaks at Jim's Place, over 100 years of that family time, celebrations, and lasting memories like those that will be made this weekend with families gathering from near and far to celebrate the Easter weekend. The Terrace family with their touch for our community. Recipes that date back to the beginning in downtown to now in Collierville at the railroad tracks at Poplar and Houston Levee. Online at jimsplacegrill.com. Don't forget the Ian Grill. Every steak grilled perfectly over an open flame. Come to Jim's Place and taste and see and feel the difference. Lunch hours Monday through Friday, 11 a to 2 p.m. Dinner hours Monday through Saturday, 5 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Since 1921. You've been doing something really right if you've been doing it since 1921. A Memphis landmark. Hard work, values, and dedication to their diners. The Terrace family, they've created that memorable, lasting dining experience. The lunch menu, the staples like the souffle ma, the shrimp cocktail, crab cakes, and those salad dressings, all homemade. I don't know if anybody really knows what goes in all of them except for them. Dimitri back in the kitchen. Dinner, the calamari, soup, seafood, and the steaks, fillets, ribeyes, and strips. Great bar area, all at Jim's Place Grill in Collierville. We are at that last moment, Jason Munns, and unless there's gigantic breaking news in the days and weeks ahead, and we hope it's not anything at all on a negative front, but the Tiger basketball season, it ended 2 weeks ago, and the recrimination has been strong since the end of that season, Jason.
Yes, you're absolutely right. It doesn't feel like, I mean, it's always hard at the end of every season to.
It is. And it always comes so unexpectedly, and that one really did.
Yeah, and it's tough to sort of decelerate, you know what I mean? Like to sort of to readjust yourself. But you know, that's part of life, I guess.
Yeah, it is. And now you kind of switch gears, and off season's upon us. Transfer portal wide open, and it seems like I've noticed other people point this out, but it feels like in previous years you would see Memphis on a ton of people's list of teams that have interest in them. But it seems like this year you don't see that as much. It seems like a lot fewer guys that Memphis has shown interest in this far into the portal. Is that just Penny Hardaway trying to be a little more selective this year on guys he wants to bring in?
I'm so glad you brought this up, Bryant, because it is, if I get this question once a day,
yeah,
I get it probably, I don't know, 9 times a day, something like that. Like I'm exaggerating a little bit about how much it's talked about, but it is talked about probably more than anything else so far since the season has ended. That's I mean, every season, at least the last couple since the transfer portal era began, Memphis has been active. They have been aggressive, and this year is not that at all. And I've had some conversations with some people who've let me know that it's not going to be that way this year. That they are going to be, as you said, more selective. I think what it boils down to is a lot more confidence in knowing what they want, knowing what they need, and feeling confident about their ability to get what they need when the time is right. And, not having to go out and like chase guys, for lack of a better term. They're going to be selective is the right word. Patient is probably another good word. There are some names that Memphis has expressed some interest in here in the early days of the transfer portal opening up officially. But I don't get the sense that the names that we've seen are going to be the headliners of this class, if they land any of them at all. Yeah. So yeah, it's I think that they're taking a much different approach this offseason.
Jason, have you spoken with Coach Hardaway, and has it been any media availability with him, and will it be to kind of go over the carcass of the 23-24 season?
No, I haven't. I don't think anybody else has. I know that there's a decompression that goes along with the end of the season, and
he deserves that.
Sure, and he talked about this the last time we talked to him after the Wichita State loss in Fort Worth, about how he has been dealing with a lot more than just basketball, for the last few months, year. He didn't specify exactly how long he's been dealing with it, but he mentioned in Fort Worth that his mother is in the hospital with cancer right now, and that he has sort of been her primary caretaker when he's been home, when he's not been on the road for games and stuff. And so, I think that's probably priority number one for him right now. Sure, yeah, and
take care of mom.
Doubt. Sure, and so I hope. I know last season we went from the night of the FAU game in Columbus to, I think it might have been May, probably, was the next time we talked to him. So I would not be surprised if we don't get a chance to talk to him for a while. But, that doesn't stop us from asking. So we're going to keep asking, and
sure.
But again, at the same time, knowing that he's got other things that need to be taken care of.
And Jason, this next line of questioning, I want to be very respectful of that and take care of mom is priority number one for him and anyone else. And if you don't want to go in this direction, not comfortable with, I respect and understand that. But I am told some that have visited with him that he is very, very kind of upset of maybe a lack of appreciation of the total job over 6 years, and that everything is just being viewed through the prism of kind of from Rice on. Have you gotten any of that? Can you share that, or do you not want to go there?
No, I have no issue with that. I think that's absolutely accurate and a fair summation of how he feels about the conversation about him here in these last couple of months. They with that loss to South Florida back in mid to late January, they went 7-8 from that point on, after starting 15-2, and Penny took quite a bit of heat, and he addressed it even the week of the conference tournament. He sort of fired back at his critics and talked about all the things that he's done for this program. And
he described it as a great job that he had done.
He did, and so yes, I don't think it's any secret that he doesn't care for the criticism that he has faced based on the last 15 games of this season. I think it's pretty clear that he thinks that everything he has done since taking over as coach should be taken into account when evaluating the job that he has done. I don't know. I can see it both ways because, let's be real. This is a very, very, very proud program, one that is traditionally used to much more success in March than it's gotten under him or under his predecessor, Tubby Smith, or the last few seasons under his predecessor, the last couple seasons under his predecessor, Josh Pastner. I mean, it had been since 2014 since they made the NCAA tournament. He got him back there. Penny got him back there. So, but again, that when you're it just depends on what you're comparing it to. Like, are you comparing the job that Penny has done to recent history, or are you comparing it to, the 90s and the 80s and the 70s and the early 2000s? I don't know what's fair, honestly, because every era is different.
It's not fair to compare him to Cal.
Right. I mean, every era is different. Like, he's having to deal with things. Penny is having to deal with things at Memphis that literally no one else ever has. And we're talking about NIL. We're talking about the transfer portal. We're talking about
conference realignment.
Exactly. We're talking about a lot of pretty significant,
pretty big issues. I mean, we're not talking. Well, do you want to take the bus or take the charter to play at Fayetteville? Right. I mean, we're talking really big systemic things.
We are, but we should also, if we're going to talk about those things, and we're going to, sort of include those nuances, we should also include some of the stuff that has sort of bitten him in the hind end here as he's been the coach, and I'm talking about the, getting wrapped up in the IARP investigation, which ultimately did not result in anything significant. Other than probation, but we should also acknowledge the recruiting violation that got him suspended for the first 3 games of this season. We should also acknowledge the stuff that cropped up at the end of this season with the Malcolm Dandridge having to be sat out for the last 5 games of the year. So, but at the same breath, we should also go back and acknowledge, again, NIT championship. Had Gonzaga, number 1 overall seed in the country, on the ropes in Portland, which was basically a home game for Gonzaga. They were a blown call away from potentially a Sweet 16 run last season.
Beat UT at Thompson Bowling.
100%. And then you bring that up. I mean, you run down the laundry list of the coaches that he has beaten just this year. Tony Bennett last year, Kelvin Sampson. He's
a guy named Brownell that's playing in the Elite Eight.
Yes, Brownell earlier this season. He's done a lot of really good things, but so I don't know where I fall. I don't know who's right and who's wrong, but it's very, very clear that he takes great exception to the criticism that he gets based on the last 15 games of the season.
Yeah. Talking to Jason Munns, the Tiger basketball beat writer for the Commercial Appeal. He's brought to you every week by Jim's Place Grill in Collierville. You reported it earlier this week, but it sounds like Rick Stansberry plans on returning to the staff next year at Memphis for a second season behind Penny Hardaway. And that's kind of another question that comes up every single season with kind of the turnaround and the not only roster turnover, but the staff turnover under Penny Hardaway. Did you expect before you learned that news about Rick Stansberry that Rick would come back, and do you think we see other changes on this staff going into next season?
I thought that there was I don't know if I thought it was 50-50. I mean, I probably thought it was leaning more toward Rick not being back, just because not based on anything I was told or heard or whatever. I think just it's been the past 2-3 seasons. Penny's lead assistants don't make it past one season. Frank Haith got out left after one season. Larry Brown left after one season. So
Sam Mitchell.
Yeah, right. So in recent memory, it would suggest that a guy like Rick Stansberry might want to explore other options. But I would say before I talked to him, I kind of thought that I kind of assumed that he wouldn't be here, but that is not the case. He does intend to be back at Memphis for a second season, which I think, it speaks volumes for me on a variety of fronts. And I don't know if we have the time to get into all of them, but like the fact that it represents continuity, and that has been something that has been missing from a staff standpoint for the last few seasons. And so I think it's really, really good from that standpoint. I think it's great from a recruiting standpoint. I think it's great from an NIL standpoint. So, the fact that Rick plans to be here next season, I think is huge.
What about the addition of one more kind of big voice, somebody with college basketball chops, gravitas, like Rick Stansberry, to join that staff?
I think that remains to be seen. I mean, I didn't mean to. I'm not dodging the second part of Brian's question when he asked about other staff changes. I just forgot. But so I'll go back to it. But
okay.
I do expect there to be. I don't know how exactly to say it. I don't want to say quite a few changes, but I think there will be multiple changes on the coaching staff, both from the assistant coaching staff as well as the support staff. I think Penny's gonna shake some things up.
Was it suggested by his bosses? Was it suggested by Laird?
That I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't have clarity on that. But and I could be wrong. Like, things could change.
Mm-hmm.
But I expect there to be multiple changes to the coaching staff. And as far as your question, Stats, I don't. I think it's still a little bit early to say one way or the other exactly what it like. If there's going to be a newcomer or multiple newcomers, I think it's a little bit early to say just yet what the profile of those newcomers are going to be or might be. I mean, it could be that like the type of coach that you're referring to, an experienced guy who has been, a veteran who's been, been doing this a very long time and all that sort of stuff. Like, that's entirely possible. But again, I think it's probably too soon to zero in on what the potential newcomers might look like.
When we see you at the FedEx St. Jude Classic Championship in August at Southwind, the Malcolm Dandridge story will have just quietly gone away of the bureaucratic ether, and it was a nothing burger, or will it be big?
In my opinion, because that's all this is going to be. This is going to be somewhat informed, semi-educated speculation is what we'll call this. I don't think it's going to be a nothing burger. I don't know that it is going to be a
Raging Inferno?
Core rattling. Raging Inferno. I don't know that it is going to get
in the old days 4-inch headlines of the front page.
Yeah, no 60 point, nothing over 60 point.
Gotcha.
I don't think we're going to get anything over 60 point in print. But
your wife would really appreciate that take, wouldn't she?
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. God, that brings back some
doesn't it?
Flashbacks
and some late hours too.
Oh, man.
Because I was a copy editor. I don't know if you knew
I know.
that. When I first started at the Hattiesburg American, I was a copy editor on the news side, and did that for a couple of years, and so I have plenty of experience of the way things.
It's when you learn to eat dinner at 7:00 in the morning.
Yeah, and yes, exactly, and breakfast the night before.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. But again, no, I don't. I do think that it is going to be. It's going to be something, but I do not anticipate a any sort of something that's going to just shake the program to its core by any stretch.
Well, I certainly hope not. But Jason, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy your weekend. I would say enjoy the off season, but we know with the Tigers, there's never a slow time of the season.
Yeah, there's 2 seasons. There's in season and there's not in season.
That's right.
Both of them are equally busy in different ways, but that's okay. I'm going to go to a concert next Saturday, and I'm going to go see Elizabeth King at Crosstown. That's I'm looking forward to that. So we'll talk to
Enjoy.
you guys. Yeah, we'll see you guys at the golf tournament.
Yeah,
Jason, it's been so much fun. Thank you for the great work.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jason.
You got it.
Jason Munns, he joins us every Friday until now, off season, for him talking Tigers from the Commercial Appeal.
So that makes me feel good about the Malcolm Dandridge story, because I think the NCAA, well, they would have responded very well to you starting all the investigation in-house.
Yeah.
That used to really limit a lot of issues, kind of the self-policing.
Yeah. So,
So something, but not raging inferno.
Yes. I think everyone knew it was, especially after it wasn't just a 1-game, 2-game suspension.
Yeah.
I think everybody kind of saw, okay, this is going to be bigger. But the fact that it, hopefully won't be this big, massive, not just a Memphis headline, but a all of college basketball headline. I feel a lot better about that, because
and one thing during that process that made me feel good is it didn't ensnare other players.
Yes. Whoa, that's a great point, because I think
Brian, if it had been one more.
Oh, yeah.
And remember that Saturday morning, I think I texted you that Saturday morning, and I didn't go on the air with this.
Yeah.
It was wrong information, and I never tweet, never will.
Sure.
That Tiger Booster had told me that was scared it could get into 3 to 6 others.
Yes.
Well, it never got there.
Right.
So that's good.
Yes. No, that's good. And I was just about to say, I think there were a lot of, rumors and speculation going on around it. It felt like, everyone knew the story, and they were trying to tell you, oh, I really know what happened with Malcolm Dandridge. And so, you kind of started getting worried hearing all of that of, this could be a lot bigger, but hopefully it's not anything too crazy big.
Yeah, and now I think raging inferno status would be it was more, and they played, and that would be forfeiting games, and that's not a look anyone can have. For me, with Coach Penny Hardaway, I'm going to get to this point. I promise you, at some point well before opening night next year. I'm going to hit delete. I'm going to hit amnesia on the 6 previous years, and everything go prominently into next year. And until I want to see a roster, first of all, then I want to see a schedule, and I want to see and hear things around the program. I think we've been setting that bar too high for second weekend. I know I don't want this program ever to start going back on goals and aspirations. But for right now, maybe a not a baby step, but just to the tournament.
No, I'm with you, and I don't know if I even think that that's going back on expectations to kind of move that.
I want to be optimistic, but I want to be realistic.
Sure, you got to, and so I like that idea of thinking of let's forget everything and just kind of start anew next year.
By the same token, Ryan Superfield's got to win that conference and get in that playoff as a 12 seed.
Yeah, and that's kind of the expectations that have been set. And, sounds like it's going to be a big year. I'm excited. Just a couple more weeks until the spring game for the Tigers, and a lot of excitement.
Let me repeat, for anybody out there wondering, Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin not in the college football playoff next year, it has been a failure of a season.
Absolutely. And there's going to be a lot of teams with those same expectations going into next year. So it'll be interesting. But let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, we got to talk about what's trending, but we also got to get to the first Showboats bankroll of the season as they kick off the year on Sunday. We'll do all of that next on Sports Time.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
When you think about insurance and you want great value without sacrificing great service, I want you to think one place: the Eflin Insurance and the entire Eflin Insurance team. Matt and his group of professionals will access 10 leading companies to find the right home and auto program that fits your budget and your absolute needs. The Eflin Insurance team, the number 386-GER, 386-4777.
Hey, Mid-South, it's springtime, so let's celebrate with the Gossett Mitsubishi Motor Spring Sales Event. Time to go spring breaking with 43 MPG Highway. Do it right with 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage. We Gossett for only $19,110 or $259 a month. Go your own way in style with 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. We Gossett $30,150 or $449 a month. Or hit the road in 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SE $36,165 or $399.99 a month. Plus, every Gossett Mitsubishi comes with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, and 24/7 at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Lodge RHW 6614, MSRP 1916, Eclipse RZO 32749, MSRP 30,650, Outlander RZO 12807, MSRP 36,165. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
A new era in public safety begins with you. Be the change you want to see. Join us for the Memphis Police Department Hiring Expo on Saturday, March 30th, 2024, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 170 North Main Street downtown. We will take applications, perform basic testing, and interview candidates on site. Salary starts at $54,611, increasing to $72,000 after 3 years. Free parking will be located at Poplar Avenue and Front Street. For more information or details, visit joinmpd.com.
Discover BetMGM, the sports betting app Tennessee sports fans turn to for nonstop, buzzer-beating action all season long. Take the hard-hitting excitement of March matchups to the next level with a lion's share of promotions and betting options. Whether you're cheering courtside or from the comfort of your couch, BetMGM keeps the adrenaline pumping with every dunk, three-pointer, and buzzer beater. Join the excitement now with BetMGM. Plus, every time you make a wager, you earn BetMGM rewards points. Yes, that's right. Every time you make a wager, you earn BetMGM rewards points, which means you can turn the convenience of online betting into real-world rewards and one of MGM's signature resorts, and more. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. Tennessee only. For problem gambling support, call the Tennessee Red Line at 800-889-9789.
All 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE72, 3985, MSRP 22,320. Sportage R7, 247640, MSRP 29,635. Telluride RG 499963, MSRP 41,005. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/1/2024. Dealer stock only.
Hey, it's my man Jeff Allen bringing sweet deals from Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah.
Hey, Randy, I've got a 2024 Kia Forte LXS that gets 41 MPG highway, and you can hit the road for just $219 a month.
That's awesome. What else you got?
2024 Kia Sportage LX, $289 a month, both 36-month lease and $34.99 due at signing. Or go big in a 2024 Kia Telluride S all-wheel drive, $429 a month, 36-month lease and $39.99 due at signing.
Plus, get peace of mind with the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
We're online 24/7, KiaMountMoriah.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. There's a couple of spots where it's running a little bit slow out here. It's been this way on and off today over here on 240 East between Bill Morris Parkway and Poplar. And I still see traffic wanting to bunch up at times on 40 westbound at Chambers Chapel. You got a little bit of heavy traffic flow coming in from Fayette County into Shelby County. They're on 40 going westbound, just past 269. Tons of radar out here, and I still see slow traffic over there in Arkansas as you travel down I-40 westbound before you get out to Forest City. 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in Memphis. It's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Back into Sports Times. We got a little bit less than 30 minutes left in today's show before we get to the weekend. Don't let the fact that the Sweet 16 is going on, that the Elite Eight starts tomorrow, that opening day was yesterday, blind you to the fact that it is opening weekend for the UFL and the Memphis Showboats. Kick off the season on the road Sunday afternoon in Houston. And I was not aware of it until I walked in today, but Showboat Bankroll making a return this season for the boats, and
because we like the action.
I mean, who doesn't?
And we're pulling hard for the Showboats. Absolutely. We're pulling hard for Memphis 901. Pulling hard for the Redbirds. I hope they had I think worth trying having opening day at 3 on a Friday. Yeah. I think worth trying. Sure. They're trying some other game times, start times this year. There are going to be some 6 o'clockers. We've kind of gotten used to some of the 6:45s. Yeah. People don't want to wait till 7 o'clock to go, especially kind of during school. I want to be supportive of that. I think it's all worth trying with everybody around town, but I am looking forward to Showboats. And like Steve Macy said the other day, I bet they really are glad that they didn't have to try to sell an Easter Sunday game. You want that one on the road.
Yes, you do. I mean, that is tough. When I first saw that first game of the season on Easter Sunday, I was like, oh, man, I don't know about that one. But, yes, you definitely want that on the road so you don't have to worry about it.
Monday is April Fool's Day. You want to have any big gags on the air, like morning radio, shock jocks, guessing the sound? You want anything like that? I've never done anything like that.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
I think it'd be fun, man.
No, Johnny. I think it's a good way to get in trouble. I've always thought it all starts out in good fun until something goes awry. Right. You know something I've never done through the years, because I like to keep it to the sports. I think it's inherent. The entertainment is in the sports.
Yeah.
And we keep it to sports and never deviate ever. I mean, we stick to sports. All the years, and I've heard people doing it, and it's more the kind of the morning zoo radio, music and talk types. But I've never had the Babe bracket or the best bars in town bracket or because I think. For our listeners, talking the bracket is enough.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what we do. But also gotta get Showboat Bankroll in there. We gotta make some picks.
That's right.
Gotta get the action.
That's sticking to sports, isn't it?
Exactly, because I know one thing people love, whether they love real brackets or best bar brackets, best movie brackets. Everyone loves a little bit of action, Brett.
And I don't want to be any prude, but I was listening one time to kind of that type of radio, and they're on there in the Babe bracket, Elite Eight, and I mean I thought it was sophomoric drooling on the air, and I thought, hey, I don't want to do that. I'm just going to talk the Elite Eight when it comes to Elite Eight time.
Why not?
We're talking Showboats on Sunday, though. Showboats a 1.5-point favorite on the road. We hate Houston, don't we?
Of course. Absolutely.
Yeah. We have to. 2:30 on ESPN, 1.5-point favorite over Houston. I'll go first.
All right, please.
150 on the boats, laying the points.
Wow, I love it.
Only have 10 games to play with.
Well, yeah.
This isn't a long game with Tiger Bankroll. This is a short game.
It sure is. Johnny has his mouth wide open because he doesn't know what to do.
And he'll only walk off with the championship.
Yeah, he'll walk away easily with the championship. Okay, Johnny, you've been so successful in every other sport, and I caught some flack earlier because you were, I think, too early crowned the champion of brackets, and
he's won. We're dormant.
I did not congratulate you for being the champion. I caught some flack for that earlier.
You wanting to play out the full 18. You hadn't conceded the match yet, have you?
Exactly. If I'm playing, I'm gonna see it through.
Ball goes to the bottom of the hole.
Exactly. So Johnny, please, by all means, go give us your boat bankroll.
Man, wow, Brett, you really coming on strong, man. I'm gonna go
No, we don't have all day.
Dang.
We can't
Dang, Brett messed me
Johnny,
up.
we have to be off at 6 o'clock.
Hey, Brett messed me up.
7 o'clock, so you can figure
Okay,
out.
I got Houston for 100.
Wow.
Oh, Johnny.
Wow.
Oh, John, that's almost Bryant disappointing level there.
Yeah, I mean, good Lord.
Houston.
Interesting. I didn't expect that. I'll be honest.
I didn't either, John. 100. We're gonna have blood drawn already, though. You see there?
We are, and that's the beauty. Of,
Already on Easter at that.
These tough UFL streets already.
It's already, man.
Then you hang a left, and we're going down a one way, and they're all coming at us.
Right. I just learned, I guess, the Birmingham Stallions changed their logo. This is a new logo on ESPN for the Birmingham Stallions. So
is that right?
Good for the
I like their old one.
I did too. So I guess they're changing it.
I very much like the Houston Gamblers. I'm looking forward to seeing
the Roughnecks.
This Houston.
Yeah,
the Roughnecks. That's it.
There you go.
I love the Gamblers logo.
Oh, I do too. But it looks like for the most part, pretty much everybody else's logo seems the same.
Is Michigan mostly the same? I like them.
You know, I was just looking at Michigan. I hate that you bring them up because I couldn't tell looking at their small
Panthers.
Looking at their small logo if they changed it or not. I don't know. I can't tell. I can't tell. It looks like ESPN has a different logo. It looks like maybe they did change their logo.
True or false? The old USFL Pittsburgh's nickname was the Maulers.
I'm going to say false.
It's true.
Dang it.
Mike Rozier, Heisman Trophy winning tailback from Nebraska with the Maulers.
Interesting. I think maybe the Panthers, maybe this is their secondary logo that they put up here. I don't know.
Wait, we have secondary logos?
I guess so, because I found this news article that has both logos on it, and this is from last year. So I'm guessing we're going.
I know
with,
it's different than in the day. I like the showboat look.
I do too.
And it's a different day. It's a new generation of this league.
It is. No, it definitely is. I'm excited for it. And now with both Fox and ESPN getting games, I mean, it's going to be
ABC.
I mean, you're going to get some, I think, some good viewership. Have I wasted enough time?
I thought we had to tell him we got to get out at 6, Johnny.
Yeah, man. I'm like, whoa, man.
We're going to blow through the break. We never do that on this show.
Look, here's the thing. I said it earlier. I'm very eager to learn the players for the Memphis Showboats. Just right now, I don't know many of them. A lot of turnover from last year's team. We got a new quarterback who has to be honest, Brett. I'll be honest.
Brian, if you're scared, say you're scared.
Brett, I will be honest. I have heard all these great things about Case Cookus, the new quarterback for the Memphis Showboats, and I'm excited to see him play. But he has to win my love. As much as I loved our former quarterback from last year's team,
you're still holding out for Cole Kelly.
Cole Kelly, thank you, Brett.
Oh, Brian.
So much. He's my quarterback.
He need to let it go.
I mean, that was my quarterback.
Let it go.
You gotta let it go, Dacus.
He has to win me over, and he has not won me over yet. All that being said, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt week 1 to a quarterback that comes in with so much prestige. I've been told he was the second best quarterback in the league last year in the USFL. I've heard he's brought it all year. Give me only $50, because I don't know much about this team or this league. $50 on the Memphis Showboats.
50 on the boats.
That's right.
I'm looking forward to Sunday.
Horn.
Surely, I'm going to be at AutoZone Park Sunday. Surely it'll be on somewhere.
I'm sure you can find something. I'm sure they'll have it on. Why not? We're all Memphis here, so I'm sure you'll be able to find it.
Tennessee win tonight.
Brett, can I turn it around to you? I mean, I think it's going to be a good game. I say yes. I say they win tonight. What do you think?
I think they win easily.
Really? Wow. Okay. What is considered easily? I mean, what range?
Double digits.
Double digits. Okay.
We're in control. Very similar to how Clemson looked last night.
Yeah. I mean, look, that'd be great if they do that. And with Creighton, I mean, it's kind of, and I feel like we say it about every single team that in college basketball, every single team that's still standing. But I mean, if that 3-point shot is not falling, you're going to see them have to
in
do
the
something
mud.
different. And if they, if they're midway through the first half, shots are falling for Tennessee, the 3-point shots not falling for Creighton, are they able to remain calm, cool, collected, or do they kind of start freaking out? And we see what we saw from Arizona last night, where instead of trying something different, they just kept throwing those threes up and really could never figure it out.
And we'll sure see Tennessee. I think the first round game was easy.
Mm-hmm.
The second game was not, and it was nervy and edgy.
It sure was. And maybe that is better for Tennessee. Maybe you get that ugly game out of your system. Maybe you had to rely so much defensively in that last game to pull it out and win. Maybe that helps you in a game like tonight. So, yeah.
And Bama tomorrow. My contention I know we're up against it. My contention for a long time, Bryant, has been that starting tomorrow with these Elite Eight games and then to Sunday, that's the most heartbreaking loss in all of sport.
Yeah.
For this reason, if you win, even if you get bombed, by 40 next Saturday, you still had that week of free publicity, going to the Final Four, all that pomp and ceremony around that. Even for hardcore people, nobody really remembers Elite Eight teams.
No. Unfortunately, I could not tell you, maybe more than 2 of the teams that were in the Elite Eight last year, and so that's how quick you forget them. I go back and tell you all the Final Four teams from the last, however many years. But you're right, Elite Eight.
You kind of know the city and the town.
That's right.
Or, I'm sorry, the city and the teams that make it to basketball's promised land, and with that exit tomorrow or Sunday for teams, that's a tough one.
That's a good point. It is.
I think everybody's playing for second, though. It's UConn's.
Brett, as much as I didn't want to believe it before we got to the tournament, and I watched a fair bit of UConn during the season, but just how hard it is to win back-to-back, I didn't want to believe it, but how easy they've made it look. And Dan Hurley's comments last night after the game, someone brought up the fact of, they're the average of point differential in these tournament games, the average points they're beating opponents by in tournament games. And his response was like, yeah, we don't win close games, so you just got to go out there and do the alternative. And the alternative
that's what they did to Arkansas last year in the 16s. What they did to San Diego State. San Diego State, they have to feel like Chris DeMarco did running into Tiger all those years with the runner-up. If it was anybody else, I'd have a major or 2.
Oh yeah, but wow. You just run into a buzzsaw when it comes to UConn last year, and it seems like UConn this year. I'm with you. I really don't think it's hard to bet on anybody else to win it outside of UConn. So it's going to be fun tonight when we get these final 4 Sweet 16 games in the books. That first one starting a little after 6 o'clock, so only a couple of minutes before we're talking about that game. But let's get to our final break, and when we come back, it'll be time for Taco Bell Crunch Time.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hi, folks, the Chevy Sheriff with good news for car and truck buyers. The Sunrise Chevy Ranch has acres of new Chevys and GM certified in stock, ready for immediate delivery. A $6 million used car inventory and cars and trucks for every budget, and a lot specializing in cars and trucks under $99.95. If you've been turned down by another dealer, see us at Sunrise. We specialize in financing, and SunriseMemphis.com is home of guaranteed credit approval. Cars and trucks may not be free, but at least they're affordable at Sunrise. Together, let's drive to the Sunrise Chevy Ranch, 385 in Houston, Levy, and Collierville.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. If you need a new roof for your home or business, we hope to hear from you and will work hard to earn your business. We are experts and certified in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and gutter installation. I have been serving the Memphis area for over 20 years, and now with 2 of my sons working with me, we plan to be here for years to come. So if you need a roof, please give us a call. On a personal note, what a great time it is to be a Memphis sports fan. With the Grizzlies and the Redbirds and 901 FC, not to mention Tigers football and basketball, it's going to be a fun year. Thanks to Coach Silverfield and Coach Hardaway and their staffs for their dedication to the student and athletes, the University of Memphis, the City of Memphis, and us fans. Five Ash Roof Services, a proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Spring is around the corner. That means the sounds of air conditioners cranking up will be in the air soon. Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. This month only, receive $1,000 off the purchase of a new Carrier AC unit. No gimmicks, just $1,000 off for the Choate's Early Bird Carrier AC Special. If your AC is in good shape, call us to get your $60 20-point AC tune-up to get your AC cleaned and ready for the warm seasons ahead. Choate's is here for all your cooling, heating, plumbing, air duct cleaning, and commercial needs. Call us today at 347-8086 to take advantage of these early bird specials. Or to schedule online, visit ChoatesHVAC.com. So turn to the experts with Choates. And remember, let our family serve your family.
Jason, the main man Marshall's marking down everything on the lot. He just can't help himself.
I love making my customers happy at Gossett Volkswagen on Covenant Pike.
Well, Jason, how you doing it this month?
With deals like this, Randy, choose from 2024 Taos S, 2024 Tiguan S, or a 2024 Jetta Sport. Take your pick, just $275.96 a month.
Jason, how about Tiguans?
How about 0% for 60 months on 24 Tiguans, plus 1.9 for 60 months on all Atlas and Atlas Cross Sports, and no reasonable offer will be refused.
So hook up with Jason, the main man Marshall at Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike, or go online, GossettVWMemphis.com.
Just come see me, Jason, the main man Marshall at Gossett Volkswagen on Covenant Pike, where we're charging forward and charging less every day.
Gossett Volkswagen, 1875 Covington Pike.
All 36 monthly, $7,500 per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Taos, RMO 53314, MSRP 26063. Tiguan, RM 003120, MSRP 30026. Jetta, RMO 48802, MSRP 25506. Cannot combine APR with 3,000 customer cash rebate. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details with approved credit. Dealer stock only. Offer expires end of the month.
Get back to the grind with Grizzlies Youth Basketball Summer Camps, presented by Nike. 2-day camps are for boys and girls ages 6 to 13 of all skill levels. Campers will receive training, a jersey, basketball, and group photo. Visit memgrizyouth.com to find a camp near you.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started, so.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy! This is for all the biggest crunch time. You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that? Goodbye! Hello, Haskins. It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin, this baby is over.
The double steak grilled cheese burrito, so good. Double the steak with nacho cheese sauce, seasoned rice, red strips, sour cream, and the 3-cheese blend wrapped inside a warm flour tortilla, with even more 3-cheese blend grilled on the top. The double steak grilled cheese burrito, it hits the spot now at Taco Bell. And at Taco Bell, when they say they are feeding people's lives with unexpected good, they mean it. Bowl food you can't get anywhere else.
Well, Brett, what I learned today, the Memphis Redbirds started the season with a better record than the St. Louis Cardinals because they started off 1-0 with a win today, come from behind victory over Charlotte 6-5. Not only, that's not the only thing I learned today about the Memphis Redbirds because, and I was so disappointed later to find out, but I was going through the Redbirds on their Twitter page, tweeted out, we've got the game notes and rosters all posted on the website. So I went onto their website. I was looking at the game notes, looking at the roster, looking at who was on the team this year. And also they had the game program. And so I'm going through looking at the game program. And I learned, even though this was the last game of last year's game program, I guess they hadn't updated the actual program, but I learned that last year, he's since been released, unfortunately, last year the Redbirds had a pitcher on their staff, Dalton Roach, that was bitten by a black bear in 2021 on his back when he was hunting in Wisconsin.
No thanks, no thanks, no thanks.
No. Now, unfortunately, he's been released from the team. He's not on the roster this year. But, I mean, I was going through, and it was like, fun fact about Dalton Roach. He
survived a bear attack.
On his back by a black bear in 2021. Oh, okay.
Man, I think I need 2 weeks off just to commiserate with him for that. Honestly. Oh, man. I don't want to have to tell anybody I survived a bear attack.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
because I'm just afraid to. I don't think I would survive. That is wild.
Crazy.
What I learned, if you know what I say about if, it's a little kid word. If Alabama advances to the Final Four, and if Tennessee gets there, it would leave only A&M, Vandy, Ole Miss, and Mizzou to never make a Final Four. OU and Texas on the way. They've both been there, though. They've made it. Tennessee really stands out in that club that's never made a Final Four, doesn't it? And I'm not trying to rub it in. Never won a Heisman and never been to a Final Four. I'm not rubbing it in. I'm saying shocking.
Yeah, no, I think very shocking. I'm with you on that. What I could have done without, speaking of shocked, I was shocked to find out earlier today, reports came out, Matt Zenitz, who writes for 247 Sports, reported that the University of Michigan is expected to hire Memphis's Lou Esposito as its new defensive line coach. Lou Esposito was just hired this offseason from Western Michigan.
Well, he's going to Michigan undefeated.
That's right. How about that? And so he was brought in to be a defensive line coach, also co-defensive coordinator for the Memphis Tigers. Now he'll go to Michigan and take over as their defensive line coach.
Well, I think they're getting a good one. I was looking forward to him being back here, just a legendary Tiger. Could have done without Oakland A's fans staying in the parking lot last night to protest. That does nothing. I know the A's ownership, they're pretty intractable, but that's the problem. There hadn't been enough people in the stands. All that did was cause people that have had a long opening night streaks to attend, caused them to miss it, and it was an ugly game, 8-zip rout to Cleveland.
Yeah, it was very ugly, no fun, and I think the lack of fun is going to continue all season long for the Oakland A's. Where are you beaming tonight?
To Crypto.com for the weekend for the ultimate college football schools to meet for a trip to college basketball's Final Four. The sight of Bama in a Final Four makes some of the very clubby, campy college basketball media, I know it's got to make them ill. Can you imagine Jay Billis if Bama's at a Final Four? Man. Can you imagine Pat Forty? Because that's reserved for them. That's their toy. Yeah. That's not the football toy, and they've already got these stories written. And UConn will blast Bama. Bama, this isn't football.
Yeah, now that's going to be it. You definitely know that's going to be where they go. Beam me. Forget all of the basketball. Forget all of the baseball. Beam me to Rice Stadium this weekend. Had to look up to see where the Houston Roughnecks play, but beam me
Rice Stadium
for the Memphis Showboat.
Hosted a Super Bowl in the day.
How about that?
A lot of days ago.
That's right.
A lot of days ago.
It's a long day ago. I'm excited for the start of the season for the Memphis Showboats. Connor, my brother, just came in. He's going to be producing the Ole Miss game that's following us. He's wearing his Memphis Showboats sweatshirt right now. He just stood up to flex it. He's excited for the Showboats. Everyone's excited for the Showboat season to start.
I'm looking forward to Sunday. Tickets available at Rice Stadium Sunday if you want to go.
Yes, they are.
Maybe a whole side. Yeah. Keeping a close eye tonight on Purdue's big moment to avenge that 16-1 last year. Kelvin Sampson against John Shira. Two former champs meeting, as Bruce Marshall told us. NC State and Marquette, that was the finals in 74. Redbirds home all weekend. Showboats opener in Houston. Baseball, basketball, football, soccer. Hockey, we got it all.
Yeah, I mean, look, a little bit of everything, no matter what you're a fan of.
When do we get another Leafs jersey wearing?
Oh, you'll get one next week for sure.
Okay,
for
good.
sure. Yeah, it was a little warm in this building this week to be wearing hockey sweaters. You know, keep you warm.
Room to room's a little inconsistent.
Very, very inconsistent.
It can be 10 in one room and 110 in another.
Yes.
It's 10 in my room right now, Brett.
It always is, Johnny.
The consistency found it today because it's cold
But that equipment's got to stay cool in there.
Does. Yeah, sure does. But no, I can promise you'll see a Leaf jersey next
Happy
week.
Easter to everyone.
Happy Easter, absolutely. It should be a fun weekend from all.
Hallelujah,
sports,
heroes.
But also, yes, absolutely.
Amen, Brett.
Easter this weekend should be a lot of fun as well. Well, enjoy your weekend and enjoy all of the action. We'll talk to you again Monday afternoon.
This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Bensdorf Realtors. I'm often called Shell Done because I sell homes and work with buyers and I get the job done. There are 7 keys to successfully selling your home quickly at a great price. First, call me. I do my research and advise you on preparation